What's good, everybody? What's good? What's poppin'? It's your boy, the Sanzo Mata Sanzo, aka Dr. Sanz and all the Kingo, back again with another episode of the Experts on the Solid podcast, the Auto Sports podcast in Nassau right now, the Auto Sports podcast in the Bahamas right now. It's your boy, like I said, Sanzo. Introduce yourself, my co-host, X Factor, along with Breland.
What's good, bro? Coming off that big Sunday. Disappointing Sunday for me.
Well, that was a disappointing Sunday for my takes, to be honest. So we can get into that. We can get into that, though. That was a really disappointing Sunday for my takes. What do you say, X Factor?
Hey, nah. I put my producer on blast right now because I sent him a message from earlier this week. I have 3 important things to say. Number 1, he's supposed to pull up the footage where I tell you all the Cardinals is a sleeper team and the Cardinals is gonna explode. Number 2, I told you all that the Rams had the solid offense with Stafford coming there. And number 3, I told Graylin that Fitzgerald was not going to finish week 1. I swear to God, I told Graylin.
Okay, hold on.
I
but
said
that's
Fitzgerald
not,
is not going to finish the whole season with Washington. And
No.
before that game was over, Fitzgerald was gone.
No, time out. He's not gone. He was injured. He didn't
But I
get
told
benched.
you, didn't I say this
No,
man
but-
cannot play a whole season?
No, but that insinuates that he's going to get benched for someone else. He got
I
injured.
insinuate nothing.
and-
Whatever it is, he ain't playing week 2. I tell you,
my
can't
God.
depend on this fella for a whole 16, 17 games. That's all I say. You can't depend on Fitzgerald.
Hold on.
You get what I'm saying, Sam?
Patrick.
It ain't the same. It ain't like his
Yeah.
performance caused him to not play.
Yeah.
He was injured.
I mean, he wasn't
you
doing
got
that
it.
much before he got
And then,
injured, but okay.
look, what are you taking victory laps on the Cardinals if we have the picks straight here? All the Titans to win the game. Bro.
If you get what?
You got the picks straight here. All
Everybody
that's
put the Cardinals. So,
All that's
Yeah,
big
but-
guys in that game.
Yeah, but I say before
we gonna get into that.
we do our picks, I let y'all know that
We
the
gonna get
Cardinals
that.
can have one of the best offense.
They look really
Boy, they
explosive.
look, even
So-
though,
Really explosive.
and I told you the only problem would have been with them would have been their offensive line. And Kyler Murray still is running free life that whole game. But at the end of the day, the all justice make it happen, bro. I know how, but he's
Yeah,
making it
but
happen.
I ain't gonna lie, he's making it happen. And I mean, it helps that he got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, and then he had the other guy who showed up,
Christian Kirk.
Kirk showed up,
Yeah,
and
he did
I
show
don't know,
up.
he must be on a contract here too. AJ Green was just there not to get fined, I guess. But
Well, let's run it down from the top, though, so we can see who all we picked and other results turned up. So the first game that we predicted was the Seahawks and the Colts. I think that was a pretty straightforward one for everybody. Everybody picked the Seahawks.
yeah,
And what did y'all think about that game?
I mean, like you said, it's predictable. Seahawks still have one of the top defenses in the league, and then on top of that, you got fellas like Russell Wilson just has put it out there. Like one thing I realized with Pete Carroll is almost like a junior Belichick. He can pick on your weakness. From me see that secondary week like that, all dog was doing is dropping back, throwing. So it's like I don't think we even know who the Seahawks running back is. That's how least like he really wasn't even a factor.
It's Chris Carson, and
It's Chris Carson. We know
but
that.
he-
He just saying he wasn't
Yeah,
needed.
yeah.
I would say he wasn't needed.
Yeah. It was a pretty predictable game. I mean, everybody who watched it pretty much saw that coming. Like I said, the Colts just ain't in the same class as
And
the
don't
Seahawks.
forget other things factor in to picks, but I can save that for when we reach the certain games. There's a lot of factors that change between the picks
But
and
anything's
the
factored
game.
in a bit. Anything's factored. All right, so that was straightforward. Now let me take my L right quick. We got
Of course.
the Texans and the Jaguars, right? I'm taking a complete element, by the way. One of my predictions was decent, right? But
No.
the Texans smoked the Jaguars, right? I mean, I think we really expected that to happen. We expected it, if anything, to be a
Yeah, we
close
expected
game,
it to be close. Yeah.
right? Yeah, but they completely ran over them dudes. The Jaguars looked like the Jaguars, but the Texans did not look that bad in the absence of
Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
I mean, I even
Tyra-
saw Amo tweeting up Winston's Tyrod looked so good.
Hold on now, hold on.
That's what Amo tweeted. I mean,
I know,
even,
but let's be real. It's easy to look good when you're
Against-
playing against a certain defense.
and that's what I said. I said,
Yeah.
bro, he playing
If
the
he could
Jags. That's why he
prove
look
that,
good.
against Baltimore defense, or he could prove
Mhm.
that against top of the line defense, then I'll give him that. But come on, man, who won that defense?
Nah, yeah.
Name me
and I-
one good play on that defense.
No, you're right. I
JJ
think-
Watt went, everybody left, like nothing there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But that's the consensus across the board. Tyrod will not look that good throughout the season.
No,
That's not gonna happen.
you want Deshaun
he-
get
he's-
traded
I
this
just-
season?
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And you know, it happened like you say when you play against certain teams, then sometimes your flaws don't really show as much. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Tyrod Taylor, I guess. You know, what I mean, you played as well as you could expect. My guy
You beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. That's what it is.
Yeah, my guy didn't look too bad. He had a few interceptions, but he did have a few nice touchdowns. So
But let's just skip to your hot take. Did any rookie quarterback win last week?
I only picked 2 rookies or the quarterbacks to win, and we're gonna get to the second one in a minute. We're gonna get to the second one in a minute. But I only picked 2 to win,
Man, too much slapping up on that.
right? But we get a second one, right? So let's go to game 3, which was Philly and Atlanta again. Pretty much an easy game for us. Everybody picked the Eagles to
Yeah,
win.
we picked Philly. Philly did it.
Yeah. What did y'all think about that game?
Same situation. Atlanta
Yeah.
defense, at least I wouldn't say that. They have more than the Texans. They have a good defensive lineman and for a good linebacker, but that's about it. So teams like that, and then don't forget, this is not the high-powered offense anymore. So if you can cover your bad defense by outscoring guys, because who Matt Ryan throwing to? Ridley? Ridley get locked up. What I tell fellas? Ridley was tied up all game.
Yeah.
Fellas done figure that out. You ain't have Julio to take that weight off you, and Kyle
No.
Pitts ain't prove himself yet. So you can need some
You need
time.
weapons for you.
You
You
need
need weapons.
weapons.
You can't win.
And you have no
I mean,
running
Even with weapons, Ryan wasn't doing what he was supposed
Exactly.
to do. So I don't expect him to do nothing now.
28-3.
Yeah. On the other side, Jalen Hurts looked very, very polished. He looked ready
Yeah.
to go.
Continuing
put in
off
the
a good
work.
rookie season. Yeah.
He put in the work this
very
offseason.
impressive.
I like that.
Yeah. Very, very impressive. So again, very easy pick to make for us. This next one, this was a really good game. The Chargers versus the Washington
who I
football team. Right, so this is one where I expect to take the W on this one. What did y'all think about that one? I thought that was a really good game.
I thought it was.
That was an excellent game. I love that
Yeah.
game.
I thought it was unfortunate that the start of the game went out with injury. But I think granted what happened, it turned out to be a pretty good game. The start of the game went out with injury.
But even though your boy did went out, even though Fitzpatrick did went out, they really didn't look that bad with your boy in his replacement.
Which is scary, right? Which is scary.
Ryan
for
again?
me.
Yeah.
Which is scary for me.
I can't really
What are you away from? Oh,
No,
my
but
life.
I don't think that could be a quarterback that I'm so soon. But we don't know how long Fitzpatrick could be out, right?
6 to 8 weeks, big man.
Yeah, so they gotta
And
maybe
you
another, but
and plus that's a hip injury for an old man
Yeah.
like that. What is 6 to 8
So-
years?
maybe this another potential landing spot for Cam. You know,
What did I say? I said this last week.
You cannot predict injuries, bro. You
can't
predict.
I
You
did not predict the
predicted.
injury. I
You
did not predict the
predict.
injury, but I predicted that this would be the best landing spot for Cam.
But you
And it,
bragging as if you predict the injury.
Yeah.
I know. All I know is I know for sure Fitzpatrick wasn't finishing the season. I told you that this man is not going to play 16 games for you
Oh
guys.
man, this guy
So
out. It's
take it.
finally he had his shot. Finally he
I
had his
take
shot. And he
how I
just
take it. Game
Yeah.
one, you want to roll a hip? Come on, man. You
Yeah,
got
Yeah,
38 or so,
that's
and you gonna break a hip? Well, that's left. I want over. I
I
just waiting
heard.
for the breaking news that, but the least they could do is wait Campbell. The least.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
that's legit all I ask.
Yeah, bring him in.
That's,
Give him a workout and whatever. What more you need? You need someone to break this Heineken bottle to, and then you have no quarterback, and then you can go bag Cam. That don't make sense, bro.
yeah, that's
Bring
legit.
Cam
Like,
in. Let Heineken start this week 2. Cam get the legs on them. By week 3, week 4, Cam could be it. Hey, and I
they
know
rolling.
one thing.
Yeah.
And I know one thing. I can say this too. If they sign Cam ain't gonna finish the season with them. Because Cam probably could get injured and Fitzpatrick could come right back in at the end of the season and carry them on to glory. That's just that's just the storyline, bro.
if good you could sign Cam, like for Cam, I think it would be perfect for Cam to get in like a mid-season, so he'd have less pressure to put on his legs and on the rest of his body. So if he could get in like a mid-season, you know what I mean, I feel like it would probably be good for at least him having the remainder of the season. But we'll see. I don't think they'll call him up right away, but I do think it's something that they could look, especially if they struggle maybe the next 2 games. It's something you have to look at. I mean, Cam ain't really going nowhere. So
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I think they will. I mean, what do they have to lose to be real?
you got nothing to lose, but you
That's
taking
the
a
old
chance,
coach.
Johnson.
That's like do what you gotta do. You
Yeah,
got a
you
good
taking a chance
defense.
with Fitzpatrick, bro. So
Exactly.
why not? Why not?
See how that turn.
All right, so
Anyway.
next game of the day. This one was a shocker, but it was a very good game as well. Uh, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, Pittsburgh pulled out a big win, boy. And the first half, I thought Big Ben did look really cooked. I thought he was washed, boy. He did really look bad. But he had a few drives to really like close out the half. And the story of the day is really their defense, boy. Their defense was
Right.
killing the second half. They shut
they
them
really-
dudes right up.
They wrote that defense kind of getting momentum too to just start rolling. And sadly, I had the Steelers defense and the Bills defense, and just take a guess which one I start.
Yeah.
The Bills.
But if you
So,
start that Steelers defense,
I would have been straight. I started the
Even
Bills
more
defense, bro. Steelers
But,
just, I mean, even down to what it was a block punt. They blocked something. They blocked a kick.
they blocked
Steelers defense.
They blocked the punt. Yeah, they blocked the punt.
See, my
Jesus.
thing with this
And they
is
returned
like
it for a touchdown.
I think the problem with the Bills can have too is, like you say, fellas can figure you out. Fellas can start to watch tape. Fellas can start watching your offense, whatever. What the Bills need is a complementary running game. You can't just think because you pay the quarterback all that money that this quarterback's supposed to sit back there and do everything. You got
And do everything.
what Zach Moss and Singletary, but these guys, RB1s really and truly. So you need someone who could at least on a play action, make it seem like, oh, we care about you actually getting the ball. Josh Allen would be going on play action, and fellas would be like, yeah, okay, but we know, like, if he get the ball, 3 yards, 4 yards, we ain't worrying about him. We know when you pull the ball out, you're going downfield. So it's like, you need someone to actually make it seem like the run is the run. Because without the run game, the play action don't make sense. You might as well go in shotgun and just throw all day like what your boy did with Dallas, Dak.
Yep. And to your point, I thought Big Ben did a good job of recognizing that in the second half. It's like, bro, I gotta get the ball in my hands quicker. Like I can't just hold up on this ball because I don't have the foot speed to get out of the pocket quick enough. You know what I mean? So he was able to get the ball to guys like Harris, get the ball to guys like Claypool very, very quickly. And them dudes do most of the work, getting the ball downfield. I credit him for making a smart decision to just get the ball in his hands quick enough. But them dudes really was able to drive that offense home. So yeah, man, that was a big win for the Steelers. Come from behind win.
The question is, is that defense good enough to carry them the entire season?
That's a big question.
Nope.
That's a big question. I don't think much people expected it to be that good.
Because Ben don't look like Ben. Ben ain't carrying them nowhere.
He don't look like Ben. He don't look like Ben. He obviously passes. Like I said, I really felt he was really cooked in that first half. So can it carry them to a level of to the playoffs? Probably not. But we'll see. I didn't expect it to look that good on Sunday. So crazy things have happened. But like that.
What we got next?
No, but I mean, hold on. But we've had teams that have done that though. We've had the Jaguars, probably the most recent team where the defense was the star of the show. When Nick Foles was running the show, we've had my favorite player of all time, Peyton Manning, and he was on the Broncos. Yeah, they won.
Oh yeah.
The Broncos, the defense carrying Peyton was done.
I ever seen one.
So I mean, if Ben could take them to the
like all-time great defense, though. This is not just a good defensive game. They had a good defensive game.
So you don't think the Steelers are that good?
No, but they got to prove the whole lot up throughout the season.
But like Xperts say, the lack of diversity in the Bills' offense still really hurt the Bills as well, right? So it's like, okay, because this defense is this sustainable over the course of the season? I mean, we'll see, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Give them some time to prove themselves. We just can't crown them now because they had a
second
good
half
defense.
But they was amazing that second half. I gotta get at that. It's really on one that second half.
The comment to say they ain't beating the Browns, and which I mean, I'm pretty sure none of us disagree with that.
Yeah,
Browns.
Yeah,
the Browns look good.
More on the Browns leader. Let's talk about the next game on the schedule, which was the 49ers versus the Lions. It was a pretty decent game. Xbox to take the L on that one. So we put the 49ers, me and Gridden.
Almost. Y'all going with the heavier favorite, but you see what the Lions do. Don't sleep on them Lions. They look stinking that first half, I must say. But boy, when they started to get rolling, 49ers were scared because them fellas was coming back. And y'all could say what y'all want. Jared Goff threw over 300 yards and was top 5 in yards this week. Don't sleep on that game.
He looked good.
They do look good. But it's the same, but just how you say the Steelers look good for one game. The Lions look good for one game.
I mean, but listen,
I didn't see anything that game for me to say, yeah, bro, they could be a force to reckon with.
Oh no, I didn't say they could be no big time force. Now I just picked up that game to sneak fellas. I ain't say they can do nothing much after that.
What you thought about your brethren, Jimmy G? How you look?
Brethren.
Brethren,
wait, not my brethren. I'm so glad we get rid of him. Talking foolishness.
But when I saw Jimmy G throw the interception to the turn over the first play, I think the first play he threw an
first play he done fumbled the ball. He ain't making no sense. Then Trey Lance come in and make a completion. Come on, man.
So you don't think you finished the season?
Wait, trust me. The way it looked from the fella could pull you on the first drive, that let you know, buddy, your rope short.
Okay, so you don't think you finished the season?
But for him to finish the season, but he got a wild look. Like next game, he got to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. The game after that, he got to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns.
I wouldn't say that yet. They still had a pretty comfortable lead. They still
I give them till probably week 10 because it all depends on if they have a winning record. If they have a losing record and you see that you ain't making the playoffs, then you can say, okay, let me start.
Yeah. That's the thing. They believe in Trey Lance a lot.
Yep.
Right. So that's the thing. They believe in him a lot. Right. So I think if it comes down to it, like you say, maybe they have a losing record or something like that. They probably gonna play him over Jimmy G. But at the end of the day, stability is important, and if they winning games, then what they got to change? You know what I mean? Let's just keep it rolling.
I mean,
You know
you
what I
beat
mean?
the Lions now, so don't get too happy.
Yeah, you
Ain't
beat the
nothing to really
Lions. Jared Goff
celebrate.
had an unbelievable game offensively.
Ain't nothing to really
Jimmy G only had
celebrate.
one touchdown, but he had over 300 yards. You know what I mean? He was making plays. So I mean, the numbers don't show it all the way, but he's making some plays. You know what I mean?
Who we
Next game of the
next?
schedule, we got Vikings and we got Bengals. This is a good game, dude.
Surprisingly, it
This is a-
was.
this is a good
Surprisingly,
game,
it
bro.
was. Real talk.
But
I ain't gonna lie,
honestly,
boy.
what y'all thought? What stood out to y'all?
I mean, like I told y'all last week, people don't give Kirk Cousins his respect. Kirk Cousins is another QB who threw, I think he threw the third or fourth most passing yards for week one. And I was like, but yet, even Madden have this guy rated like a 77. I was like, Kirk Cousins been doing this consistently now for like 2-3 seasons though.
Yeah.
Like, why y'all still disrespecting this man? Like he's a scrub. Like I feel Kirk Cousins better than a lot of QBs who they have higher than him. But for some reason, I don't know. I guess he ain't marketable or something. He just is them fellas who come to work, do their job, and leave. And they I guess they don't like that. But that guy can throw a football.
He's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the league for sure.
Yeah, he's underrated for sure. Now I must say, Sunday on the whole wasn't a running back day. So, Dalvin Cook, he did his thing, but wasn't nothing spectacular. Kamara did his thing, but it wasn't nothing spectacular. Derrick Henry, I got him in fantasy. Man, wait. Anyway, let me show y'all one thing. But I don't like the fantasy, right? Hey, wait, listen. Look at this. Watch this. This is my fantasy score from week one.
And you win or you lose?
I lost by 1 point because people like Derrick Henry want to give me 10 points. Wait, Darren Waller.
Derrick Henry is your first pick.
Derrick Henry disappoint. Ezekiel Elliott disappoint. Kamara disappoint. All these running back week one. Dalvin Cook like you expected. I don't know. I guess fellas them want to throw the ball early. I expect the running game to pick up week to week, but boy, running backs really ain't put up. I lie, except for CMC. And to be honest, he put up a lot of points off of receiving. He still ain't put up a lot of rushing yards. Yeah. If you look at Kamara, McCaffrey, rushing yards, he didn't put nothing up with rushing.
Right. Same with I think Joe Mixon did a pretty good job too, but he had like 11 receptions.
Yeah. So it's like the running game, I don't know. I think what happened is in the beginning of the season, they know that defense is so fresh that it's very hard to it's very hard to run the ball like game one, game two. But as the season go on, you can have injuries to your defensive line, fellas tired, fellas getting whatever. You can see rushing games pick up. But week one, every year, I notice, it's always a quarterback week. Like that's when fellas just go off week one.
Yeah. And they was trying to show up they knew off season but you think these niggas been training off season for nothing.
You think Saquon must be pushing 600 pounds not to use their legs
for 3 carries and things.
The next game we have up. Hold on 1 second while I get that. Speaking of New York teams, speaking of Christian McCaffrey, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the New York Jets. So this is an ex-rookie quarterback I picked to win. He wasn't able to put it off, but hey,
you did. I thought you picked Sam Donald in his revenge game.
No, I said Sam Donald whatever revenge game, which he did.
But the Jets
I did pick the New York Jets to win.
I know one thing. I ain't picking the Jets no other game. They gonna win 16 because they look
second half, I must say, Wilson.
Wait.
He looked a lot more composed the second half. He come out the first half jittery.
Name a play on Carolina defense. And you used to be a Carolina Panther. Think about that. Think about that.
That team has been revamped since the glory days.
Boy, I tell you. Boy,
Glory days.
I
But
we know you in a tight.
McCaffrey played, like you said, McCaffrey played a hell of a game. Sam
He
Donald.
got boy, he in a tight and he in a defensive division. You got the Patriots defense to go up against. You got Miami defense, the much improved Miami defense to go against. And you got the Bills defense to go up against in your own division. Boy, that sound like plenty else coming, bro. Plenty else. Plenty interceptions too.
Well, listen, ain't no one ever says he's have no winning season though.
No, of course.
Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay. So you're gonna go on a limb and say 0-16, or you just was exaggerating? Because I want to write this down. I want to write this down. Like, let me know. You saying 0-16 right now? September 14th, 2021.
Let me look at the schedule and get back to you.
I would say, yeah, I would. Next is the Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals. So that game, all of us picked Titans to win.
Yeah, jeez, man.
All of us getting bars.
Who did give me 5 fantasy balls?
In my defense, like I said, I knew the Cardinals had the team to make an upset. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, the Titans have the better team because of the run game. But if your run game ain't active, that takes it out of the equation. You didn't use your best weapon. Your best weapon is Derrick Henry. You want to throw the ball all game with friggin' Tannehill. Tannehill is much improved than what he was with the Dolphins. But you got King Henry, the Russian leader, the ground and pound Stephon King, and you here throwing the ball. Come on, bro. You had an advantage, and you took your advantage away by playing their game. The Cardinals have an air attack that you can't stop. So if you look at their rushing, they ain't really got no running back. No. But if you don't use your running back, you just as bad as them.
One of these. So I came away from that game saying that, boy, I don't know how far away Arizona is from being a contender, right? But,
far away?
Yeah, I don't know how far away they are from being a contender, but
so you don't think there's a contender now?
I think that's what he about to say. He about to say the way they looking.
The way they looking.
They're looking contenderish.
They're looking contenderish. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how far away it is from actually being one. We'll see how the season goes, but the way they looked yesterday,
like they look
like a bona fide Super Bowl contender, and the combination of Kyler Murray and Diop is truly a special combination.
You did.
He ain't kicking yet. I feel like he just needs to get comfortable in that offense enough to where Kyler could trust him. Because you's a good talent, but your QB got to get used to you being there. And you're lucky Fitzgerald ain't come back. Fitzgerald's still a free agent. If I was him, I was going to hop on this bandwagon and say, hey, y'all need some help. Because I just saying. But my thing is with them, like I told you, the O-line. Even though they played a good game, I don't like how Kyler Murray has to run away so much from defenders. My thing is, your whole season is hinged on this guy could be a MVP if healthy. Obviously, we see he has the arm talent and the leg talent. But the thing is, the way he runs and the amount of hits he is open up to, one injury would throw your team in the toilet. Because if Kyler Murray go down, I don't even know who their QB2 is, to be honest. I think they draft a rookie too, but they didn't even draft him high. Like this a late round rookie. So
regardless, there's no one that could replace what he does. Unless you find a way to get Russell Wilson.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. And as fans, we see the exciting players, like he really put on a show. We see like 4 or 5 touchdowns. We see the players and we see the touchdown, he got falling down to the ground. You know what I mean? Like I think the upset, the thing about Kyler is the play never over until he on the ground, right? We see those players, and it's like, boy, it's fantastic. But I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to rely on your quarterback having to take and make those type of plays throughout the course of a regular season. You know what I mean? So you sort of got to invest and guys to protect him. Ready to go? We ain't gonna address that.
Man, I ain't even no conversation no more.
We ain't gonna address that.
We know Brady the GOAT, so that's straight.
We ain't gonna address that big brother. You say
We going over the picks
right now.
Right now, we what 6 games in, I think.
Yeah. What the next game is?
Games. We actually like 9 games in, to be honest. But
next game you gotta run it.
Next game is the Giants game. We have the Giants versus Broncos. What do y'all think about that game?
No man, who the picks was?
Well,
I picked Broncos.
I picked the Giants. You picked the Broncos, free. Me and Lou picked the Giants. Me and Xperts picked the Giants. You think you can take these as this week? You ready for that? You guys do work. Yeah. Just talk about that game.
Well, like I say, my thing is, we all know that Saquon is the best player on both teams.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is we also forgot that it was week 1. And like I said, running backs don't show up week 1. Quarterbacks try to do as much as they could. Saquon.
And then Saquon coming from injury, they was going to take it lightly.
Yeah, of course
they wasn't going to push him to it.
Yeah, so like I say, running backs will start to eat going forward. But for week 1, I guess they ain't feeding running backs this week. So Bridgewater had the better quarterback. Daniel Jones, this needs to be his redeem year, but he looked okay. He just didn't look spectacular.
He decent.
He got more.
It's a big year for him, but and we said it on the Saturday's podcast. This is a huge year for him. He showed a lot of promise in year 1, and he had a slump last year. And it's like, boy, now's the time to pick it up. You have decent weapons around you. You know what I mean? So you have Saquon coming back from injury. So you got it. Now it's time to pick it up. So I hoping that he has a good year. I'm not out investing in the Giants, but I'm hoping that he has a good year. The next game that we had, this is the only one we said was going to be a blowout. We got Chicago, the Bears, at the Rams.
We all pick Rams. I hope we all pick Rams, right?
We all pick Rams.
Okay.
We all pick Rams.
No one was that is getting a luck though.
No,
you did. I didn't think. I thought the only surprising thing throughout that entire game, I thought Dalton was going to play the whole game.
You thought he was going to play the whole game?
Yeah, I didn't think. I don't know. I didn't think that they would have benched him so soon.
I didn't think he should play nothing.
See, the problem with this is, I keep telling you, guys like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes have now spoiled the NFL, whereas guys could be rookies and try come in and play week 1, and you have starters, but you still trying to play rookies. The old NFL, but your rookie ain't playing unless this boy get legit serious injured. You could be a number 1 pick, and if you have a QB already there, you have to beat that QB, or you gotta hope you get injured. Because they still can sit you for a season, sometimes 2 seasons, 3 seasons sometimes, before you even get to see the field. But now
he already comes into play.
Yeah, look at people like Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre was there throwing interceptions like crazy, and they wouldn't put Aaron Rodgers in that game.
Yeah.
They had to run Brett Favre out of town before they could get Aaron Rodgers in this game. Back in the day, that's how it was. Nowadays, Aaron Rodgers would have been starting probably week 2. Week 3, because Brett Favre was on I think one season he was almost in pace to break the record for interceptions in a season, which I think was almost broken by Peyton Manning. But
you can get there.
I just saying, like, nowadays, boy, these QBs they have a good opportunity though. I like to see that. Hey, you only gotta sit 2, 3, 4 years before you can get your opportunity. But just make the best order. Don't let these fellas start, because one thing they can do, they can give you the opportunity, but they can hold you on the short leash. You come here as a rookie QB, you come in there, throw 2 turnovers, you back on the bench, bro. You best believe they can draft a quarterback again next season. You could be in a tight.
That's where you go.
See fellas like Sam Darnold, them, they still on their rookie deal, you know. They done traded all over the place.
Then flicking all over all over the place.
Exactly. They fellas them traded
Oh,
all
Yeah,
over.
man.
the windows of opportunity is getting shorter and shorter as the
Yeah,
game develops. I think.
Yeah.
and I was way too much, but I think sort of like social media sort of contributes to stuff like that because like everybody wants the instant gratification now,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and no one wants to see the slow process. So if you come out the gates, you have the success of some quarterbacks who come out the gates, or some players in general who come out the gates and they busting, they just killing. And I think people just try to put those expectations on everybody, but some people just need to develop. They take a little bit more time. You know what I mean? And then some people
then-
just stuff all together. So
And then they sit when you sit there and you compare, like if teams looking at Mahomes, it's like, bro, well, he did it. So
Hey.
why can't I
your
expect
second year-
my sophomore quarterback to be,
Exactly.
problem
Your
is
second
too,
year, you got to be
fellas-
like this dude. You got to be like
But
this
the
dude in
thing
your
is, what
second
people
year.
don't realize with Mahomes is he didn't do it like, oh, he had a scrub team he did it with. Mahomes come into a ready-made team.
Yeah,
Alex Smith
great team.
already had that team go into the playoffs. You know, he ain't like, oh, this was a team that drafted Mahomes 1 or 2. Mahomes was drafted like 10th or something like that. So it's like Alex Smith had these guys go into the playoffs. Mahomes came in there with a team already built for him. So these other teams trying to bring QBs into the trash cans. The Jets is not built for nobody. If you put Mahomes right now on the Jets, you think he getting to the Super Bowl?
No.
No,
Please.
no.
So
I mean, he probably going to playoffs too. He ain't going to Super Bowl.
You think he's in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think he's going to playoffs.
With the Jets?
I don't think.
Y'all don't realize how much football is a team sport.
No, but you don't.
We going to get to that game.
I think Mahomes that good. Nah.
We going to get to that game.
Not with that personnel. They'll have to put a lot around him. They'll have to give him some pieces.
But like
They
you
have
said, it's a
zero
lot of things
pieces.
involved. It's the offense, and then it's Andy Reid tailoring the offense to fit Mahomes' strengths. There's a lot of stuff involved. It's him sitting under Alex Smith, getting to learn from Alex Smith. That guy's always tell people, but sports and these those things sports is Dragon Ball Z, but they think
Exactly.
you was the best player, you was Goku, you could beat everybody. That's what these dudes think it is. But you really have to have a team in order to really win at the highest level. You know what I mean? Great player or not, you really have to have a team. So
Yeah.
And actually speaking of that, let's go to the next game. Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think that's a good segue because hey, the Raiders do what they're supposed to do. They beat up on an injured team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ravens only had like 5 people playing for them.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They beat up for them dudes.
Don't do
That's what
that.
they're supposed to do.
Don't do that. What do we
That's
all
what they're
pick?
supposed to do. We picked the Ravens. I picked the Ravens.
And you all picked the Ravens. We picked the Ravens knowing that they was already beat up. Y'all thought that
It was still
Lamar
a good
Jackson, like people say, Lamar Jackson could go on any offense because he is so dynamic and they can pull out a win.
You thought
No, I just saying, like people
we-
believe that okay, you have a superstar QB, he's supposed to carry you. No, bro, this is a football game, boy.
You're right. I did think that Lamar Jackson was gonna at least be able to carry this game. I thought that
Exactly. People saying, they should be at least able to beat the Raiders.
But I mad you talking as if this game wasn't close though. Like they got blown out.
Exactly.
The game super close. We was so close to being right that Lamar Jackson almost carried this beating team.
But San say they beat up on Ravens. How you could beat up on a team if the game was close? They go on into overtime, they beat up on the Ravens.
San said they beat up on an already injured team. That's what you're supposed to
They
do.
beat up on them.
An injured team ain't supposed to beat you. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it was true. They beat up an injured team.
Y'all gotta stop.
They did not.
I know one thing.
And ain't no shame in that. You got to play one.
Another underrated quarterback is Derek Carr. Y'all gonna learn to respect that man.
He played a great game. They do what
Derek
they're supposed
Carr
to do.
Is I ain't gonna exaggerate. He's okay QB. He's nice enough. I feel that the Raiders could make some noise. I don't think they're getting too far, but they could have a good season this year. And that tight end they got, boy, listen, y'all can say what y'all want, but any Kelsey and Kittle, it's easy to do that when you're in the offense with Tyreek Hill and Debo Samuels and all these fellas. This guy, their tight end is actually the best receiver on that team. And you know he's the number one pass catcher, and you still can't stop this man.
I thought your hot take was going further than that. I was just waiting for it. I thought you was going
I just saying, like, he's
I thought
the
it was
best.
going to get he better than Kelsey, he better than... That's what I thought you was going.
I know one thing. You could take Kelsey and put Kelsey on the Raiders, put Waller on with Patrick Mahomes, and watch this man destroy
Waller is a monster, but you wouldn't dare open them out to say those words though, because I could write it down.
Physically, if one tight end against one tight end, regardless of the offense, I would pick Waller. But in that Kansas City offense, of course, I can pick Kelsey. Same thing with Kittle. I'll pick Kittle too, and that's San Francisco. But if you interchange them, Waller will be just as good and put up just as much stats. As we could see, he put up better stats than them this Sunday in a worse offense.
Okay, so you're what you're saying is, if Waller went to the Chiefs, he would put up the same stats as Kelsey.
Better
stats. But if Kelsey went to the Raiders, he wouldn't put up the same stats as well.
Right. Not with Tyreek Hill not taking off the top. Because niggas could cram down on Kelsey. Remember when there was an injury last year? I think it was this part where Tyreek Hill must didn't play a game, and Kelsey probably was their number one. But that game, Kelsey did look average, bro. He did look really average without wide receivers who could spread the field.
So essentially, what you're saying is Waller is better than Kelsey. I just need you to say it so I could write it down. You realize he ain't saying it, right?
Who get a pencil, boy? Where does we get a pencil from, boy?
He just ain't trying to say it. You realize that? He making all the.
It ain't cool.
You got to get it right now. You got to right now the logic.
I just need to write it for future reference.
Everything cool. We'll see. Game, like you said, we ain't go all off on week one, but he had a great week one. As of week one, he's the best tight end in the league. As of week one, now he has to be consistent.
He played the best game at all the time.
As of week one, Deebo Samuel is the best wide receiver in the league. That makes sense?
I would.
As of week, there's no takes you can make.
Hopkins was still making some big plays, boy.
But I hope Xperts ain't saying best. We saying he had the best game of week one out of all the tight ends.
Yeah, he had the best.
We can hold you to the fire if you continue this.
Trust me, Waller. If Waller can stay injury free this season, Waller is gonna put up.
No, Waller is definitely one of the top tight ends in the league.
Yeah, he's no question. But he might lead tight ends this year, and
compare him to Travis Kelsey now, right?
So he can't be compared to Kelsey.
Let's just keep it a buck. That's all I
say.
You can't. No. But even so, you
can't compare stats. We can compare stats at the end of the season.
No, but even so, even if you compare stats, you comparing stats to one season. Kelsey has a body of work that's been done.
I pay you up with.
Yeah, we're talking about right now. We saying who's the best tight end right now. Who got a better body of work than Gronk? So is Gronk still the best tight end right now? He's still playing.
Kelsey still, I wouldn't say Kelsey in his prime, but Kelsey's still the top. How can you say, okay, so Waller had one good game. He had a pretty good season last year, too. And he had one good game. And all of a sudden, he's the best?
Hold on, I ain't say all that. Wait, why you trying to did I say that?
You ain't say it, but you say it.
Like, you basically say he's better. Anyway, before we get out of this topic, let's get to the breakdown, right? So if you had circles, let's just get the sting out of the way right quick. We need to get that out of the way. The Saints and the Packers. And
I don't know why I allow y'all to persuade me last week.
Don't bro.
Right?
I don't know how I get enough
very convincingly.
So the MVP didn't, the former MVP didn't persuade you. We persuade you.
Yeah.
I never, to be honest with you, let me let you know one thing. I never liked Aaron Rodgers because I always felt that they put him in this GOAT conversation with Tom Brady when it was never close. So me personally, I never liked Aaron Rodgers because I always felt when I watch this, like I use the eye test. When I watch him, he always have this diva mentality. Like when fellas drop the ball, he's look at you and cutty eye and rolly neck and stuff. And I just be like, so you just make perfect passes every play. Like I watch you overthrow guys too, and like he just like he's a diva to me. Like Tom Brady is fire guys up, but he's be like I don't care. Like to me, he always had that I don't care mentality until the media start putting fire on him. Then he's come out like, oh, I have a point to prove. Why they gotta tear you down for you to come
I
back
think
and say, oh, I have a point to prove?
the thing with Aaron Rodgers is he's one of the, like, talent wise and IQ wise, he probably, well, in the top 1% of quarterbacks, right? So I think on that level, I think he's easily on Brady's level, if not past Brady's level in terms of talent and IQ. But when you talk about intangibles
IQ?
and like
He has
things
a
which
higher
people,
IQ than Tom Brady.
He didn't say higher. I ain't had no ER in that word.
No, he
He's so
said pass.
defensive.
He say pass Tom Brady.
I say
in
he's
that way.
equal.
I thought you said equal.
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 And what? What else
If
you
not,
say? If
if
not,
not, then he's past them. But if not, right? If not, then he's
See,
past them.
but we have commenters that agree Aaron Rodgers is more talented than Tom Brady.
talented.
But yeah, but you
talented.
know,
he has
but
the
that's
physical attributes.
right. And
to
I,
be
but
more
I,
talented.
But it's
to,
the intangibles that separates Brady from Aaron Rodgers.
that's
right?
intangibles that separates Brady from every
Yes, listen.
quarterback to ever play the game. To be honest.
Yes, and the passion to win, the passion to improve, the willingness to fight back mentally, from big comebacks. I mean, from big routes to fight big comebacks. Brady, intangibles wise, is a better player than Aaron Rodgers. You probably rather have him to lead the team than Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers is one of those tools. He's so talented. It's like almost like the game comes too easy for him, and it's like you could see at some point, at least not, let me not say at some point, when you get deeper into the playoffs, it ain't necessarily about talent anymore. It's about, after a while, it's just about who wanted more. You know,
and that was going to be my point.
Yeah,
the difference that separates Brady from guys like Rodgers is that Brady always played with a chip on his shoulder. Even when Brady win the championship, they just be like, oh, Brady, so how do you feel about this championship? Oh, my favorite ring is the next one. Like, he always into, I have to keep going like this and that. Whereas what happened was Aaron Rodgers came in and had a chip on his shoulder when that Brett Favre saga was going on. Because people are saying, oh, why did you let Brett Favre go for this guy? He won his championship early, and he proved that, hey, I have the talent to be a great QB. Then all of a sudden, everybody started praising him. Oh, my God, this guy is the GOAT. This guy is this, and this guy is that. He started sitting on his high horse. And then the other years was just pure cutting. And then, I think like 2 seasons ago, they was like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is washed. Aaron Rodgers is this. Aaron Rodgers that. Then the fella come back another MVP season last year. Now everybody talking again. Oh, he's one of the GOAT. He's one of this and he's one of that. Now he come back with his hair slick back like Pat Riley. He come walking in the stadium slick back with his big contract and get his head punched right off from Jameis Winston.
Okay, so
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it's arguable.
Wow. You gotta shut up.
It's arguable that I mean, at least Twitter is saying that Aaron Rodgers might have thrown the game. You can see he wants to get traded. Now I know you won't agree with that, but let's just note. I feel like you always have to note, especially with X Factor, you always have to note his biases when it comes to people that compete or try to compete or is known to compete with Thomas Brady. So let's just note that your dislike for Aaron Rodgers is clouding or may possibly be clouding your judgment.
It's clouding my judgment to think that a professional quarterback getting paid $30 million just went out there and embarrassed himself in front of his fans just to throw a game to get traded. Which team did he get traded to that is even better than the team he has now?
That's collateral damage, man. The point I'm not saying
team. So why are you forcing this trade to go well?
Okay, here we go again. Time out. X Factor for the audience is a Thomas Brady fan. He
has nothing to do
has a disdain for Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers wants to get traded. Aaron Rodgers wants to get traded because his team went out and drafted a quarterback. Quarterbacks.
That sounds like a diva to me.
Star quarterbacks. I love that you said that because star quarterbacks don't like when you go and draft a very good quarterback because that means that you basically trying to say you about to get replaced. Now I love that you say that's a diva because the GOAT, Thomas Brady, once forced his coach to trade a talented quarterback that he drafted. because he felt that he was going to get replaced.
When
To
did
see him,
Thomas Brady said he forced this?
of course, he
The
would never
media,
say it.
the
But
guy
why would
said that he forced this, but who said he forced this?
Why would he force it?
Belichick,
You know what? Don't forget. See, I keep telling you, you're short-term memory.
Belichick traded Jimmy G.
Let me tell you what happened that season. This was the season that Tom Brady got suspended the first 4 games for breaking up his cell phone.
And
Jimmy G came in there and played good the first 4 games.
Right.
Tom Brady came back and Jimmy G went to the bench. The problem was that people felt outside of New England, because I don't know no Patriot fan who said they wanted Jimmy G to start over Tom Brady.
No, not right then and there. But the fact that Tom Brady's replacement was right there sitting on the bench doesn't bode well for Tom Brady. Same way it doesn't bode well for any quarterback. They don't want a potential replacement sitting right on the bench. We just talked about this with the Patriots quarterback and Cam. You don't want Cam sitting on the bench because then his leash is short. No quarterback wants that.
In the NFL, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you got 0. That's basically
exactly. So no quarterback wants that. So you telling me
my argument was that, hey, Jimmy G only looks good in the system. It wasn't Jimmy G, because that whole thing, he ain't like, oh, Jimmy G came in, start throwing 400 yards, start throwing 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. Jimmy G just was there not to turn the ball over, so that the Patriots could keep running the ball and keep it going until Tom Brady come.
And he overachieved. For those 4 games, he overachieved. They thought he was just a replacement, but he looked good.
Yes, he made completions, but he didn't go above and beyond. So Belichick did the smart move that, hey, sell high. Jimmy G at that point was at his height. You're not going to trade Tom Brady. I don't care what.
No, you're not going to trade Tom Brady. What I'm saying is,
you're not going to trade Tom Brady because people are like, oh, why didn't they trade Tom Brady to San Francisco and start over?
You're not going to trade Tom Brady, but why was it?
San Francisco would have a Super Bowl right now.
But you don't feel like Tom Brady had a say in Jimmy G being traded, as every quarterback would when a good quarterback is a. Was he a rookie or sophomore?
He overachieves. I'm pretty sure he does not think that he's going to start over Tom Brady.
But guess what?
He's very
all
much
of this
prepared
played
to
a
ride
part.
the bench the rest of that season.
All of this played a part in Tom Brady actually leaving, because it was that it was at that point where Jimmy G came in and they was like, oh, well, if he looks so good in this system, it must be this system. And then this whole talk came that Tom Brady is the system quarterback. So it's like, oh, his stats is starting to diminish. Oh,
the talk,
Jacoby Brissett. Don't forget, Brissett came in there too and looked good.
But the talk was there long before that, because when it was who's the GOAT, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, that was the talk against Brady. The talk against Brady was he's a system player versus Peyton Manning, who just is the system. So that was the talk.
Against Peyton Manning, who had 2 of the best wide receivers in the league for years and years. Against Brady, who was bringing up guys like Welker and Edelman out of the slums. Edelman was a quarterback.
Okay, Brady had
1 year with Randy Moss. 1.
Thank you. The great, second, third greatest of all time.
Exactly, and look what he did with him. Don't make it seem like he underachieved.
So you could sit there,
Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne all the time, and what y'all was doing.
Right, but you could sit there and say that Tom Brady had better players, but Peyton Manning had better players. But Brady had the GOAT coach, the greatest coach of all time.
Now he's the GOAT coach. But guess what? So now Brady is now diffusing that, because y'all saying he's the GOAT coach until Brady left. Now Brady gone, year 1, with Bruce Arians, who was Mr. Biscuit, Mr. Allow Jameis Winston to throw 30 interceptions.
But that team is still a very... Now I agree with you. Brady is debunking that myth. I agree. Even though the Buccaneers are really good, but Brady is the bunker. I mean, Brady threw the first blow. Now it's Belichick's turn to throw a blow. You got to give Belichick some time to get the sensible quarterback.
You got to give him time now.
You know what the problem is, Chris? I think Xperts really don't admit that Brady more like LeBron than he would like to let on.
Wait, stop it. Stop it. The man has 7 rings. Don't you ever compare him to someone who has 7 losses? He has 7 rings. Now, if he go on to the Super Bowl 9 times and lose 7 times, then I'd give you that. But you don't dare talk about a fellow who has 7 championships.
Okay, see, there's a comment.
There's any other football team, not any other football player. Any other football team. One man have more rings than any other more than the Cowboys,
Okay,
the 49ers, anybody.
but listen, yeah, he got 6 of them. But Belichick to go. See, my thing is, and
Exactly. Yeah,
the
he got
commenter
it.
says the talk was always Brady was a system coach, system quarterback, which is why you said he felt the need to go elsewhere.
And
I
prove
agree.
himself,
But
which
the
he
thing
did.
is, for me, you can't have two goats. You can't have a goat player and a goat coach. One of them is the goat, and the next one is feeding off of the other.
And
That's
who
what I
proved that
always
there's the
say.
GOAT?
Ain't nobody proved yet. Right? Like I said, Brady threw the first blow.
The
The
man won
Belichick
with a
win 5
Super
more
Bowl in
times.
year one.
Okay, so
Belichick didn't make the playoffs.
no, the Bucks are the better team than the Patriots. Come on.
But you used to
The
go
Bucks
coach.
got Mike Evans and
Yeah, but you used to go
Antonio
coach.
Brown
What do
Yeah,
you?
but you used to go coach.
No, but how do you
you gotta have
measure
players
goat?
still though.
You gotta have players.
Oh,
You
so
gotta
now
have
you
players.
have the. So didn't we just say last week that is a 60-40 that players are more valuable than coach? So even if you have a
You
good
said
coach
that,
and a
I
good
mean,
player, that means that this good coach and good player still is 60-40. So
you
it's still
said that,
60
but
Brady, 40 Belichick.
we disagree with that ratio.
Oh,
You
crap.
said that, but we disagree with the ratio. We don't know what the ratio is, but don't say it's just 60-40 like, yeah, the players are more important.
Still need
Now,
good players, and in the place of yeah, when you're losing your scope, in the place of the Tom Brady, like even though he did not have, I mean, Bruce Arians is a decent coach. He's not a GOAT coach or whatever. He's a decent
right.
coach. Even though he didn't have an elite coach, he still had some elite players playing
He,
alongside him.
he did, yeah, but that's a very good team. And then to go back to Brady,
That's
like the commenter say,
very good team.
you had Jimmy G, you had Brissett, you had
Mark
Mark
Castle.
Castle. I mean, you
Yeah.
had so many quarterbacks in that team system as Brady who looked good. So good, like he
Hey,
said, that they willing to trade for him, that it was easy. That argument didn't just come out of thin air. It was logical to say that Brady is a system player.
but you can't get me wrong. Where I never took nothing away from Belichick. I never said that Belichick didn't help us win championship. We needed those cameras in the stadium that time. I never say that Belichick isn't a
Yeah,
great coach. Never. But
No,
all
no,
I'm
no.
saying is we needed that ball flat a little bit because it was raining that game.
I
We
don't,
needed
no, no,
these
no. Hold
things.
on, time out, time out. Don't blame all that on Belichick. I see what you're trying to do. I figure you out. Don't blame all
What?
that on Belichick
I
now.
never
yeah,
said I
yeah, yeah,
blaming them
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
Belichick. All I say
The
is
deflate gate was probably more Tom Brady than Belichick.
no. Because the quarterback doesn't go in the back with the ball. The quarterback is brought the ball. The ball is handled by the ball boy and the coaches. So anyway,
So the
that's all I was
instructions
just
couldn't
trying to
come
do.
from Brady. You trying to
Pass
dissolve
the
Brady of
coach.
any blame. You see what he's
No,
doing here,
did
Sam?
I say Brady is not at fault? I said I never took nothing
Hey,
away from Belichick. Even with those
closer than
deflate
LeBron
gate
than
and
you think,
spy
buddy.
gate, I always said that hey, the Patriot
Closer to
system
LeBron
is
than
the
you think,
Patriot
brother.
system. The Patriot system is built around Bill Belichick. We understand that. That's why Bill Belichick coaches is go to other teams and find success. This
Okay,
man is a master, and he's a master scout because not
right.
all of his people he bring in through free agency. A lot of our
So
big players he either drafted or he gets them on the low. People like Stephon Gilmore. He never was drafted in the Patriots.
yeah,
When we got Stephon Gilmore, people was mad because we had Malcolm Butler and we didn't pay Malcolm Butler. And people is like, oh,
and he
how
was
can you
like,
not pay the Super
and he just
Bowl?
won the Super Bowl for
Exactly. And there's like, oh, you
exactly.
ain't even pay him. And then you can bring in Stephon Gilmore. Who is this guy? Next season, Stephon Gilmore shutting down every wide receiver in the league. So it's
Okay,
like this
so
guy really puts in his work at home.
okay, so let's get to this then. Let's say Brady even wins this year. I think the Bucks are the favorite to win this year again, right?
If he
So
wins this year, man,
that's
come
what
on, man.
that's
What
eight. That
more?
would that be eight?
What more you
That's
want?
it.
And then that's it, right? And then let's say Belichick spends another 10 years in the league and wins 5.
As a Patriot fan,
Who,
man,
who's the
don't
goat?
do that.
Who's
Don't
the
do
goat?
that.
No, who's the goat? If Belichick wins
5
5
out
more
of 10,
They
out of
both
10
the
years,
goats, and
you could win
and
5 Super Bowls in 10 years.
I mean,
who's the
Boy,
goat?
then
Mike,
then
if
then
so
it'll be tight
no,
again.
but I mean, in that case, both of them would be the goats. Both of them.
Yeah, because
See,
then it'd be undeniable. But 5 in 10 years
the thing,
is
yeah,
crazy.
the thing
That's
about greatness
crazy.
is, sometimes you just have a special era in that particular sport where two goats or three goats, two, three great players, great coaches, or whatever, they just collide, and they stick with each other for that point in time. They go their separate ways, and they still have success in other parts. You saw it with Shaq and Kobe. You know
That's
what
what I
I
was
mean?
gonna say. You was like talk about
So
Popovich, but
yeah,
what about Phil Jackson?
you
Phil
saw it with
Jackson
Phil
couldn't win without
Jackson.
superstars.
No,
Phil Jackson
but
coach years, but people still say, "Oh, he's the Zen master.
But that,
He's the
yeah,
greatest
but
coach of
Phil,
all time."
nah,
but
Phil
that's
ain't the
why
goat.
I asked,
See, and
what
that's what
makes
I'm
a
saying.
good
Phil
coach?
ain't the
Who's the
goat.
goat? Who's the goat?
Who's
Pop
a good coach then?
Popovich
Anyway,
is the
Who?
goat
Put the
coach.
next
anyway,
game. Put the
let's
next
move on to
game
that.
in Sarge.
Pop-
What's
Let's
the
move
I
on
next
to
don't,
that.
game,
what?
Sarge?
Wait, hold on, time out.
Let's move on to that.
Sarge, let's
Time
ride,
out.
boy.
I thought that was undisputed.
What's
I
Go
didn't
ahead,
even
then.
know
wait?
the conversation.
Let's finish the
Okay.
NFL and then we can let fellas,
Don't
we
do
can
that,
let the
boy.
crowd
Don't do
tear
that.
you up on this when we get
Don't
over
do
to the
that, boy.
Which I'm
NBA.
saying,
Don't do that.
Phil better than Pop.
Don't do that, boy. Please.
But
Let's
everything
move on to
cool,
the
but
next
let's
game.
let's
Let's move on
ride,
to the
let's
next game.
ride.
We
Let's
can get to
finish
that
this game.
after this football talk, but don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Don't do that.
Because everybody,
Let's go Chiefs and Browns. Let's go Chiefs and Browns quick. What y'all thought? I thought that was a good game. Came down
this
to a
was one
final
of the
possession.
games where I told y'all things happen in between my picks. And last second, because I have Odell in fantasy, I done start Odell. Keep in mind, this is a 4 o'clock game. So all of my wide receivers done play. Then Odell can come at 4 o'clock and say he ain't ready to play. So I had to go find someone with a graveyard to just slot in my lineup, and it cost me lose by 1 point. But my thing is, I picked the Browns. I remember picking the Browns. And I told y'all it could have been a upset. But like y'all say with the Ravens, the Browns wasn't fully healthy, but they still look good.
They look
They
good.
look good, especially
They
going
look
up
good.
against a Kansas City team. They
They
held
look
their
good.
own very well.
Yeah.
I remember saying that it was going to be so close that it was possible that the Chiefs would have been catching up. I remember saying that the Chiefs would have had to come from behind. That's exactly what happened. And I think that's another thing with Patrick Mahomes. He's really good under pressure. Look at him rolling his eyes.
Oh,
Anytime you talk about someone's good other than Brady,
and
but
listen.
No, but I
Where's
can't something.
listen.
No, but I never. Nah, don't
Um,
forget. Now, I was the one who made the case that Patrick Mahomes could have been the GOAT if he won his 3 Super Bowls. I never say
but
Patrick Mahomes in. Nah, come on now. I never
Mahomes
say
is
that.
so good
listen.
under pressure. It's like, and
That's
the
a
That
Browns
guy who
played
graphic
head
where
a
they
and
say
shoulder.
uh that graphic with whatever Mahomes the stats when they trail it. I do it when they trailing, but it's like he is taking his game up to a completely different
yeah.
level. Which is why I'm so high on him as a player. But like I said, that's just a game where even like we said about the Cowboys Buccaneers game on Thursday, where both teams really made great plays down the stretch, but one team had a guy who just want to deliver almost every single time down the field,
Yeah.
and the Browns just wasn't able to make enough plays.
Okay.
I'd like to see OBJ healthy for a
Yeah.
rematch, but it was a good
My
game. Though. It lived
thing,
up to the
my
billing.
thing with guys when we talk about this GOAT situation, keep in mind you have a lot of quarterbacks who are physically head and shoulders above Tom Brady by far. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady physically is not even in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, all these other guys, they far and above better than Tom Brady. My whole thing with the GOAT conversation is when your physical abilities diminish, can you still play at a high level? Don't forget now, Tom Brady had a season where after Randy Moss was there, Tom Brady blew his ACL when that dirty player rolled into his left leg. And people is like, oh my God, he's done not a mobile quarterback. Could he come back again? Tom Brady came back and win MVP. Same thing with when I think it was the Chiefs too. It was a game when Tom Brady threw 4 interceptions. And I think it wasn't Stephen A, the other guy, either Skip or someone came on and was like, oh, this guy is headed off a cliff. He throwing 4 interceptions in the game. They
I
already
remember.
trade. And it was like, oh, Brady is finished. And we could have seen,
I'll
like
say
you say,
that.
physically, he's not there. And then the fella go on vegan, stop eating meat, start doing all
Why
this
Stephen A. gave him
electrolyte
that
thing,
12 pounds.
come back and be a MVP candidate and win a Super Bowl. So my thing is, this is why I don't crown fellas too early. Patrick Mahomes is a great talent. The only problem is, like we saw in the Super Bowl, when the line collapses or when you're not able to use your talent because they kept Patrick Mahomes basically in a bottle that game, then can you now sit in that pocket and deliver that ball when your legs don't work or whatever. Same, what you think happened to Cam Newton? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Cam Newton was one of the most dynamic quarterback, two-way quarterbacks ever. He has more rushing touchdowns than Michael Vick, but he still passes more than people give him credit for. He was an MVP candidate and took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. But what happened is when injury caught up to him, and now you have to sit in that pocket and deliver that ball. Can your physical aspect of your thing go? Can you maintain that goal?
Accuracy of Mahomes. Never the accuracy.
Now keep in mind now, Mahomes has said himself. What the meme is? I know Tyreek Hill out there somewhere. You see certain players. Now I must say he has short game accuracy, but some of them deep ball, I must say, you could tell that this man is saying, I see orange, about 50 yards down. All right, good. Orange is our color.
That's the name of the game. You got to play with the great players.
I mean,
you got to play with the great players.
Patrick still has a lot. He still has a lot to learn too. Like I don't think he's on that level of veteranship. I guess I could call it what Tom Brady is, to the point where Tom Brady know the game like the back of his hand. I don't think Patrick is there. I think Patrick is way beyond his time. Right, he beyond his time in terms of being like a 40-year player, but
he'll get there. Once he'll
get there. I think he's still experimenting with his game and still trying to figure things out. I mean, he's on a good trajectory. Like you say, the biggest thing is you don't want him to plateau early, and then late in his career he fall off.
Exactly. But, it's longevity that makes the go-to.
Yeah, I think he's still experimenting with different things, and for him, I hope it's important that he understands the situation in the end, because these arguments are very situational. So it's important to understand.
Love just say it's longevity that makes the go.
Consistent longevity. Don't try put this LeBron thing in here.
We can get that.
We can leave that alone, please.
That's what it is. It's the last game. It's the last game.
Let's speak about y'all goat coach.
Dolphins versus Pats. By the way, me and G picked the Chiefs to win last game. Xperts picked the Browns, just so you can score alone. You losing back. Let's go in this next game. We got Dolphins and Pats once again. Me and G picked the Dolphins, and still picked the Pats to win. What do y'all think about that game?
What do you think about your quarterback of the future?
I know one thing. If anybody say that Tua played a better game than Mac Jones, you're a Dolphin liar. You're a liar. Okay? If you look at the stats, Mac Jones' completions were higher. Mac Jones delivered the ball better. And also, Mac Jones didn't turn over the ball. He didn't throw an interception. Tua, on the other hand, had a lower completion percentage. Tua threw an interception. But at the end of the day, like I said, football is the ultimate team sport. Mac Jones played a very good game. Not saying that Tua is trash. That's where people just get it wrong. Not because I say someone is better than you means you is trash. If you was a 79 and this guy is an 80, he's just better than you. Maybe not by far, but he's better than you. So Mac Jones obviously is the better quarterback out of as of now. I could see if you use the eye test that Mac Jones has, and he has a higher ceiling than Tua. But we have turnover issues, and this was one of the reasons why I felt that Belichick couldn't put up a Cam, because your running game, we don't have a real RB1 neither. We still experimenting with our running backs to figure out on a week-to-week basis who is our RB1. So you can't have your running backs here fumbling the ball almost every drive, and then you got a quarterback here throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball too. Last year when the Dolphins beat us, they beat us because Cam fumbled the ball. This year, we is in field goal range, down by 1, and you go fumble the ball. So it's like you can't win for losing. It was a good game.
Like San say, I think he said the Dolphins just have the Patriots number.
Yeah, they just get one off us every year.
Yeah, they have the Patriots number, and they just can make life a little bit difficult for Mark Jones. I mean, like Xperts to say.
I mean, they keep our players and our coaches, so they should have our number.
Yeah, you did see some talent from Mark Jones. You did see a ceiling in that particular system for him. So I think he's a decent fit. It could take him a while to get comfortable. But,
do you Do you think Tua is more talented than Mac Jones?
I think two is better than Xbox to give him credit for. I don't think you could say who definitively
Time the
better.
question. Time the question.
By the way,
I think he's more
Ken,
natural talent.
you
Leg
understand?
speed and arm talent, that combination, I think he's more talented than Mac.
You disagree? You disagree, Xbox? You don't think Tua is more talented? You didn't say better. You said more
Talented?
talented.
Yeah, more talented. Yeah.
Skill wise,
You see that? You see legs. He's more mobile, and he has a more like pocket. But don't forget what we said about system. We never wanted that. That's why Cam didn't make no sense because we never wanted a mobile quarterback. So don't forget now, being a better quarterback doesn't mean it's just your intangibles, like how
Right.
good you are. Being a better quarterback also means you in a system that could make you a better quarterback. So if you're a pocket passer and now you come to a pocket passing offense, you can
You're
look
gonna
better
look like
than
the star,
someone
right.
who has legs,
Yeah.
but they don't really ask you to move with your legs.
which is
No.
why you think that Mac Jones will be more successful than Tua,
Oh yeah, of
Right.
course.
but you don't think Mac Jones is more talented than Tua.
I still think he's more talented. Like even okay, look at when I say with the eye test, I see Tua come up to the line. Tua might point out one or two things who fellas who come in, and this is second year now. Keep in mind, this Tua's second year with a team, so he should be well jet. And Tua just has come up there and run the play most of the time, which his coach is sending him. His coach is a defensive coach. That was our defensive coordinator, and you can check out a certain players because you feel some type of way. You got Mark Jones coming in here, rookie, week 1. I watched Mark Jones them come in, and we had a 2 tight end set. This was obviously a running play. They stacked the box with 8 guys. Mark Jones say, hey, kill, drop back into shotgun, and delivered a 5-yard pass across him. And I was like, who give this guy all this leverage? What y'all doing around here? But
Right,
so I was like, this guy really has the keys. Like, it's more than just you coming in here just to hand the ball off to a running game or just hold down the fort. Like, I feel like they legit, for Bill Belichick to give you the keys, but he was ready to take the keys away from Tom Brady. So for this guy to really give you the keys and you deliver, not just give you the keys and hand it over because you was a number 1 pick. He picked you 15, but he give you the keys and then you dropping back, you read no defense, you calling certain things, you killing plays, you going against Belichick and McDaniels, who are proven winners and proven GOATs and some of the best offensive geniuses in the NFL, and you killing plays to call your own plays. That ball better be complete because boy, Brian Hoyer was warming up on the side.
Right,
Brian Hoyer was ready to get in there, boy.
At the same time, just as how a system can make a player look better than he is, a system can make a player look worse than he is. And like the commenter say, Tua is playing for the Dolphins. So I mean,
No.
What you mean? No.
This is not the Dolphins of old now. This is one of the best teams the Dolphins have in probably a decade, bro. Let's not be real. Like, you just by the name the Dolphins, but this is one of the best teams the Dolphins had in a long time.
Organization.
Right.
You still have to look at the organization.
You mean the organization?
Organizational
Patriots coaches and like this organization.
I just want to note that he mentioned that at least 7 times.
Yeah, because the organization they brought that in to bring the structure. Don't forget the cornerback. Which one of their cornerbacks? The guy. What do you name? He wanted to get traded. No, the cornerback. Remember in the offseason they're saying the cornerback. I think that's Xavier. I don't know, but he wanted to get traded, and because he's a defensive coach, he said, "Hey, you don't come here with all this distraction, bro. We give you a contract extension on the table. Now, let us know what you can do." When I look 3 weeks later, Dog signed a contract extension. He's staying with the team. Like, it's a whole different demeanor that, hey, listen, the team is not about you here. This isn't that old thing where the Dolphins go and sign some wash-up players, and then these fellas come here and create a big distraction and throw away the whole season. You have now a coach who is non-tolerant to that. So I feel like you could, like I say, you can't say this. He's playing for the Dolphins like this. The Dolphins of old. They are very much upgraded, staff-wise, coaching-wise, and personnel player-wise.
They just sucked last season, boy. What you talking about?
The Dolphins sucked last season.
But here's my question.
Didn't the Dolphins win 10 games last season?
But upgraded to what though? Like you say, this is the best team they had in years. What are you comparing it to? You comparing
the Dolphins,
team.
like you comparing them to the Dolphins teams.
So a team that won one. for instance, a team that won one game versus a team that won 5-6 games, that's a better team than a team that won one game. But if you compare it to the team that won one game, they still suck.
But the Dolphins won 10 games.
Okay, so you think the Dolphins going to win 10 games
this year?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they win 10 again though.
You think they win 10 again? Okay, cool.
The Dolphins are the only undefeated team in our division, you know. They actually lead in the division right now. Like these fellas throwing a parade because they lead in the division right now. I just saying they 1-0, and the Jets 0-1, the Patriots 0-1, and the Bills 0-1. So right now the Dolphins on the high horse. You can't talk to them.
As usual.
The thing about culture, right? It takes a while to build. You can't just build culture overnight, right? And the Dolphins, even though they had a semi-successful season last year, you at the end of the day, it still takes consistency over a period of time. That's what separates the Patriots from almost any other organization in the NFL, right? It's top-down culture. So for Mark Jones, even though they're probably not projected to win a bunch of games this year, just the organizational structure is probably going to make his role a little bit easier moving forward than a guy like Tua, who, even though they have a decent team this year, this is still a culture of instability. We got to see if they could still be a stable team for years to come. And all that is not on Tua. Some of it is, but all that is not on it. So I think he's obviously a more talented, like I said, the combination of leg speed and arm power. I think that combination, he's more talented than Mark Jones. But Mark Jones, if you would have asked me, I think he has a better chance to succeed because he's playing in a more stable, structured environment.
Mark Jones will have the better career.
Okay. Well, as the opening, he has a good career.
Given that he stays with the Patriots.
Given that he stays with the Patriots.
They game.
And don't think you would care about him if he wasn't on the beach.
Oh, of course not. I need you
to act realistic now, right?
But my thing is, where you game?
Because you're the Patriots now, you think he's the next free for real.
I say that. Notice I never get that mistaken, bro. You, as much as I like Mark Jones, you never always come on my move.
Anyway, so that was a wrap on our picks. We got some right, we got some wrong. Hopefully we do better on Saturday. Coming up, we want to say a special shout out before we move on to basketball to Rev and Rev Trio. They have the NFL Sunday ticket out now that you can use to watch every NFL game on Sundays. If you're a Rev Trio customer, you're a Triple Play customer, that is free of charge if you already have those things on it. So you can get that at no additional cost. So just hit up Rev, call them. We'll leave a link to their number somewhere in the comments, and call them, hit them up, and just order the package. I mean, if you want to catch every NFL game, you need that package, bro. You need that package.
Yeah.
So shout out Rev. So let's talk a little bit NBA before we sign out. I saw something in the news today. They see the Rockets say they want to trade John Wall. They say they want to mutually trade part ways with John Wall. Do y'all think that could happen? One, and which team you like see him fitting on?
I think it will happen. I thought it was already inevitable. I don't know why it's just coming out, but I'm thinking the best place for John Wall right now is the Clippers.
I've been saying that.
I think it's the Clippers. The Clippers has been looking for a point guard for some time now. They prefer a defensive-minded point guard, and John Wall is that guy. John Wall is the all-time leader in blocks for a point guard. I mean, with him, Kawhi, and PG on the perimeter, I think he fits right in.
That's the interesting part about that, right? I think it's the Clippers too, right? But I think do it untradeable, to be real.
I going to say that. I don't know how y'all expect this man to go to Clippers with 44 million on the books.
Making 44 a year.
Who you trading for him? Kawhi and Paul George.
I think 44 a year. If I'm mistaken, I think that's the second or third highest salary in that league, right? Mm-hmm. So with 44 a year, you got to find out 44 to match that, right?
Exactly.
So I was looking at the Clippers.
That's not gonna happen.
You know they ain't trading Kawhi and PG. So that's just
Exactly.
No.
That's never gonna happen.
right.
But the only untouchables on the Clippers team is Kawhi and PG.
Yeah, but they don't even
Now
making decent salary.
let's get that. Let's get that. So I did the numbers, right? I did the numbers earlier today, right? So they could get, you could make a trade because remember Bledsoe just gone there, so you could trade Bledsoe, Marcus Morris, and like a backup, and that would equal the salary, right? But that would be just for John Wall straight up. Does that really make the Clippers better though?
No, that's pure turbulence coming out. First of all, this
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
talking about John Wall is the leader of block. Let's talk. This is John Wall pre-Achilles, pre-injury, pre-falling off a cliff. Don't make it seem like this is John Wall of old who could hold guards anymore. John
Yeah,
Wall
but you-
cannot stay in front of almost any top 10 point
What-
guard in the league,
what-
which the top teams have.
But when did you see this? You haven't seen John Wall post injury. You seen him for what?
He played
10
last
games?
season.
15 games? He played
No,
last
he
season.
played last season.
So,
That
Played
was
listen,
last season.
horrendous.
He get okay.
defensively,
he averaged
was
like
it?
20. He averaged like 20 last season. He was decent. He was decent last season. He averaged like 20. The Rockets did suck, right? So it ain't no
Which is probably 80% of the reason why he looked so bad because he was on a sucky
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, but that don't
He
stop your
averaged 20.
defense.
But
Yeah,
again,
but you can't. He could stop someone and then they set a pick and then that's it for his defense. I mean, what do you want from him?
but the
Oh,
question
boy.
is for the Clippers, like I say, do you do the deal if you don't really feel like he's a big upgrade? See, because to me, like I say, it's John
At
Wall
this
better
point
than
in
Eric
time,
Bledsoe?
This is
Yes.
not John Wall.
Hold on, Eric Bledsoe is not the starter.
No,
You think he's starting over Reggie?
Exactly. Y'all got still
no,
there
but I'm
Reggie
saying,
there.
that's if you do a one-on-one trade. Let's just say
Reggie who just
John Wall
poised out
better-
into tears last season. You think
But John Wall
Yeah,
probably
He,
better
Reggie,
than Reggie.
Reggie, yeah, I think he's better. But Reggie, who just
Yeah.
ball out in the playoffs, he was amazing
Exactly.
in the playoffs.
John
Yeah.
Wall come there be so mad on the bench?
So is John Wall better than he's better than all the other options they have a point guard. All right, cool. But is he that much better to where you could say I have to lose Morris, maybe a backup, maybe Zubac?
No.
I don't know. Now maybe if you could tell me Bledsoe, Kennard, and a backup, I might do it. I might do it. Obviously, you got to throw in a pick if you was.
You know, think that thing look because
But I'm
after you
like-
don't get them 3 supermarket contracts, who you signing? Who filling in these gaps now? You wait
You
so
get
late
min-
to do this. Now
get
when you
minimum
do this,
contract.
you don't have no good minimum contract players out there. Who you can pick up?
Well, if they do it, it can't be like it have to be with next season in mind. Kenneth in the comments just asked when Kawhi come back. I don't think Kawhi come back this season. So
You think he out all season?
You're
I
sick too.
didn't do something about the season.
You're
I
sick.
didn't do something about the season. So I
So
think
then-
you
so-
have to do it next season in mind.
So then, does it even make sense for them to trade for a point guard this season, knowing that the expectations aren't
Yeah,
that high?
'cause what John Wall could do there if Kawhi ain't coming back?
Like this a off year for them, so they could just wait until free agency next year and look for a point guard.
And that's why I say I don't know. I don't know where you get.
You don't know if it can happen, yeah.
Yeah, like
Because you got to cut out all the teams that are rebuilding. No rebuilding team wants John Wall because he's not.
Don't
I
forget
mean,
the
he's
salary,
past-
but y'all keep forgetting the salary.
that's the biggest hindrance right
That's
there.
the biggest
got-
thing. Ain't that teams wouldn't take a risk on
Yeah.
John Wall. It's that I ain't paying him $44 million to take a risk on.
And I tell someone earlier today, there are a lot of bad contracts in NBA, but John Wall is in such a difficult time because every single team right now who have a bad contract sort of love their bad contract. Like the Lakers have Russ, right? They like Russ,
that. Yeah,
right? They like Russ, right? Russ is a bad contract, but they like that, right? The Warriors, they got Wiggins. That's a bad
got one.
contract.
I got one.
They
I got one.
Go on.
The Cavaliers.
Ugh. No,
We just thinking about a way to get rid of John Wall.
his career would be over.
It's over in Houston. I mean, what's the difference between
I don't
Houston
know
and the
his career
Cavaliers?
be over. Like that would be his last stop.
The Cavaliers have the Cavaliers have Kevin Love now. I don't know Kevin Love's contract, but I know it's huge,
Okay,
right?
okay. Kevin Love,
And
Kevin
he's
Love has a nasty contract. You're right.
and Kevin Love is sitting. I think he's third string power forward now because they drafted a power forward in Evan Mobley, and then they just traded for Laurie Markkinen, who's a power forward.
Yeah.
So
I don't
Kevin
see
Love is
I don't see Kevin Love finishing the season there.
That'd be interesting, right? That'd be interesting. But then you gotta ask,
who they can
why
say.
did Houston want Kevin Love?
Well,
Keep
the
in
Cavaliers
mind,
on Kevin Love.
the
I think the
reason
Cavaliers
why
been trying to
the
get rid of
Cav-
Colin Sexton.
Yes,
They
but the
should.
reason why they would not trade Kevin Love or they don't want to do nothing with Kevin Love is they know that Kevin Love wants to play with LeBron, and LeBron wants Kevin Love. The Cavaliers still have a thing with LeBron. Don't forget all this now. At the end of the day you let Kevin Love go to a team, he gets bought out.
No,
When
but
Kevin Love get bought out, where you going?
but Kevin has
Yeah, actually,
Kevin
said
has
he's thinking about Portland.
Kevin said that.
Yeah, he said
I
he
hear-
wouldn't mind playing with them.
To do
I
what?
heard they said that Kevin Love and the Cavaliers both agreed that they're not interested in a buyout.
Exactly.
But
Because
only
they
be
know
upfront.
Ohio is the only
Right,
way.
he ain't trying to cut. Yeah, he ain't trying to take no buyout.
It's
But
the same
keep
with
in
John Wall.
mind, that's an
John Wall
off-season
wouldn't.
buyout.
John Wall said he wouldn't take a buyout.
I mean, they say they ain't discussing bio plans right up and now.
But don't forget, an off-season buyout is different than a mid-season buyout. NBA contracts are fully guaranteed. If you get buyout in the off-season, you get far less. So the reason why players can tell you now, their agent didn't tell you, but you tell them we ain't into that. Why? Because it's still off-season. But when you get around January, February, you don't make half of this $40 million.
Mhm.
So by February, John Wall done collect about $22 million.
Yeah.
So now I could be like, oh,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
I
if
can think
y'all
about it
really
now.
don't want me here, we could see what we could do.
But from both sides, it sounds as if it ain't no urgency. Like John Wall, he really want to make his money, so he ain't really sweating it like that.
Of
And
course, I blame
and
him.
Houston, they just like, bro, you could come to training camp and all that. We just don't really need you in the games. And he like, wait, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
And-
But like Lou say, mid-season, you might see someone say, okay, you might see him say, well, you know what? I didn't make like half my contract.
Really.
I could take a buyout right now.
And
know
you still
what I
buying
mean?
me for 1, 5, 10 mil. So I could make 30 million by January.
And then too, you got
The buyout could be large.
but as the course of the season goes on, you have injuries and you got teams that think they could make it. They just have that one piece. So I think his market will be larger after the season start than it is now. When teams are
Yeah.
perfectly satisfied with what they got and they're ready to go into the season and see how it is. Now halfway through, they're like, this ain't working out. We need something else. Then his options open up.
Exactly. I tell you one thing he's not gonna do. He got a play option. Excuse me. He got a play option next year for $47 million. He ain't doing nothing.
Hey, I don't wait. That's why you
Yeah,
don't really
they're
want
not
to buy out. Because now don't forget that. Our play option is key. And wait, I don't know. Like I say, some fellas, you gotta realize that hey, chasing a ring, these rings cost like worth like 100,000. Like you realize you could go buy like 20 of them.
It
My
is.
thing is, wait, you could say it ain't the same, right? But think about it. This man has now been traded to the Houston Rockets. Texas is now one of the lowest income tax states. I mean, Washington is one of the highest. So when you was making 45 or 40 in Washington, you was only seeing about 28, 30. Now you making 45 in Houston, you seeing about 44, 43. And
Right,
you
but
think
that's
I'd even
about-
have to go ring
that's a little
chase with man? And I get 47, I can get 44 this year and 47. That's almost 100 million or 90 million
I
in
mean-
2 seasons.
Okay, but you can't chase the money your entire life. You can. I mean, like at some point, you make enough. You don't think so?
Make enough.
Let me tell you
You
something.
can't chase the money all your life.
Let me
Like
tell
I
you
mean,
something. You think your Bradley wasn't trying to chase the money? They
And he-
just missed the quarter finals.
I'm speaking specifically to him, and that's what I'm saying. You can't chase the money all your life. You could have been on a championship team right now, but you won marks after marks after marks. I talking to him.
And then after that, you go on the championship team. Then when you win, you know what they can do? They can still say, oh, John Wall, you too old now. We can max out someone else on the team. Then what you can say? Oh, I deserve better. Now you disgruntled. No one will give you a max contract. But if you don't sit on this 44 million and
But you know,
When
it's
the
not-
conversation changed. You know when the conversation changed? Because remember, in the days in the olden days, you had guys like Dirk and I don't say olden, but in past days, you had guys like Dirk and Tim Duncan and even the big three in Miami took pay cuts to play together, right? But then it was at that point with that 2009, 2010 season when Kobe was winning, and Kobe get paid, and Kobe's like, bro, I ain't taking no pay cut. I ain't taking no pay cut to win no championship. These owners wouldn't take no pay cut.
Exactly.
Right? So I think people start to realize, and now you see it with Ron them signing the 1-year contracts, Kevin Durant signing the 1-year deals. People start to realize you could win while getting paid.
Exactly. But the last LeBron was one of those who recently said too on his show, this whatever thing that is, he's be sitting in the barbershop with all these dudes. LeBron said he ain't taking a more pay cut neither. Because, like you say, why must I take a pay cut to win a championship? And when I win a championship, your value of your team goes up. So I must take pay cuts and say, oh, well, I can play instead of maxing me out at 30. At the time, Kobe then was making the most at like 27. Instead of me getting 27, I must take 19. So you can have $8 million to play around with someone else. And then when I go there and win with these scrubs, I got to play with friggin' fella, not scrubs, but Sasha Vujacic and stuff who can't really survive without the Lakers. Shannon Brown, them who disappear off the face of the radar after the Lakers. Now when I win the championship, your net will go up to Lakers is what, $3 billion? Yep. And you could tell me I can't get 27 million or the $3 billion and everybody coming to see Kobe Bryant and LeBron James?
Okay, but the very last dynasty that we had, which is what? The Warriors, right?
Warriors.
Didn't they take pay cuts?
No.
Steph take any pay cut?
Steph wasn't
Steph done signed $200 million.
Yeah, now, but at the time, Steph wasn't on a max deal.
No,
I'm talking from 2015.
What happened to Steph was,
now don't forget he was
injured.
Yeah, they almost didn't keep him. They was ready to trade him. He almost got traded.
His ankles injured, and it was repeated ankle injuries at the start of his career. And they knew how good he was. They know how good he had the potential to be, but he just couldn't stay healthy. So they signed him to a sort of like a prove-it deal, right? And for him, at the time, he was okay with that because it was like, all right, I ain't healthy. So for him, he felt as if, hey, the organization doing me a favor by even signing me to this low deal, right? If Steph is healthy, he never signs that deal. They never have the cap space to get Durant. So that just came like full circle because at the time when they got Durant, Steph, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, I believe Steph was the lowest paid out of all of them.
Right.
Draymond Green and
that's
Klay
why he's
Thompson
getting so much now.
Kicked in. Yeah, and that's why he's getting so much now. Like their extensions already kicked in. And Steph is still on that same measly wide.
Even Wiggins, they're getting paid. So who taking a pay cut on the Warriors?
No, they ain't taking a pay cut now.
That salary, what Draymond getting? Don't you dare say that's a pay cut.
No one take it. I guess too.
He owe them change.
Like I say, those in the NBA realize you can win without doing that. They didn't realize that. The best dudes didn't realize, hey, I could win and I don't have to take a pay cut. Now, someone below me might have to take one. Not me.
Not on y'all.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If I want to get a veteran free agent, he might have to take one.
Even if you look at that Brooklyn team, you got Durant who just locked in. I think he signed his contract extension. Now they're working on Kyrie and Harden. None of them do taking no pay cut. Kyrie ain't taking no pay cut. Yeah, Harden is tell you cold, but y'all bring me up. I didn't have to win here. I could have stayed in Houston and make my 40-something million. So
now, Blake Griffin, he got to take a pay cut.
You pass your prime.
The Marcus Aldridge.
Yeah, y'all fellas pass your prime.
But the big stars, they didn't say, boy, listen, we ain't doing that no more. At that time, they finished. We know
if this was the olden days, fellas would have reworked their contract. Just like how Westbrook come to the Lakers. If this was like 7 years ago, LeBron would have reworked his thing. Westbrook would have do something where he drop his contract, this and that. But now these fellas ain't care. These fellas saying, but listen, you bring me in knowing that I make $42 million. Westbrook is the highest paid on the Lakers now.
Yeah.
And I just be like, you bring me in knowing this contract was. So, yeah, I know what you want me to do.
Yeah. So segue a little bit, what y'all think about this Ben Simmons situation getting nastier, boy. It's getting nastier by the second.
Ben Simmons had the same problem John Wall up.
He ain't reporting to training camp. No, stop that. Stop that. Don't say that.
I
Don't
get
say
no. When I talk about the same problem as in your contract don't match your production. Ben Simmons right now is a supermax player. He's not making the
Yeah.
44. The
No, he
problem
making like
is
30 something. Making it
they're
30
like
something.
38 or something. The problem with that is
Yeah.
Ben Simmons. What team you would go on where you could carry that team? Ben Simmons has to go on to a team that's ready made, and you just come in to be the facilitator and the
Yeah.
guy who could get the rim and layup. You cannot
Mhm.
trade Ben Simmons to a
And
team like
defend.
Portland. If you trade Ben Simmons to Portland for Damian Lillard, what Ben Simmons can do there? Ben Simmons can't hit no game winning
No, he
38 foot
can't carry.
3-point
No.
shot. He can't carry that team. So he
No.
have a problem where you can't carry a team, but you getting paid like a guy who carries a team.
He's what you're saying is he making superstar money. He ain't a superstar.
No.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead, Bree.
The team that's linked to him the most, I think, is the Timberwolves, eh?
And they done say they ain't giving up Carl Anthony Towns nor Anthony Edwards for him.
No,
So the
they
only
should- no,
person
should
who
they?
available is
No, should they?
Russell.
Russell. Yeah.
I do that trade.
And Patrick Beverly.
I do that trade.
And that would that.
Yeah,
and
that
Russ-
back to every day.
But Russell would look good in Philly, to be honest. I mean,
I do a
He
trade.
would-
I do a trade.
not even a bad
would do
trade.
that. I would do that, but the problem is, see, it's the media. Ben Simmons is not producing like a superstar, but he has that superstar persona. So it's like, oh, how could I give Russell, Russell straight up for Ben Simmons when, like, iconically, like they're not on the same level. But if you look at their stats, boy, Russell really has put up some numbers.
Right. Russell was carrying the Brooklyn team before
Yeah, Russell.
KD and
I mean,
So them fellas won Russell, and they won like 2-3 picks for a guy who can really shoot, can. Really
and then
do
this
nothing.
and then if you think, let's think about personnel. The GM is Daryl Morey, and he don't make trades unless they big. So everyone in the league already say, bro, the asking price for Ben is way too high.
Yeah.
He ain't hearing nothing. He's saying, bro, like he making it seem like he fine with keeping Ben when everyone knows that.
you ain't
Yeah,
fine.
he fine
You don't
with
have-
Ben, but
you
Ben
don't-
ain't
but you
fine
don't-
with staying there.
Right, you don't have that option.
You don't have a
Your
choice.
team is not going to progress as long as Ben's on the team. So in
Yeah.
actuality, we doing you a favor by offering you this,
Yeah.
by
offering you
offering you this exactly.
Yeah.
But
so-
he don't see it that way.
Yeah, he see it, but I think he's just trying to like downplay the situation. That's how I feel. Like even with the DeAndre Russell situation and Ben Simmons, right? If you ask me, I'd rather have Ben Simmons over DeAndre Russell. But I think you at the point with Ben Simmons where you have to get something for him, right? If the dude say he ain't coming to training camp, the dude say he willing to sit out training camp. On the Philadelphia News, they trashing him, acting as if he's a trash can, right? At this point, like it's no winning the trade. You can't expect to win this trade no more.
No,
Like,
if you use Daryl Morey,
You're Daryl Morey. The
Yeah.
thoughts of you winning this trade, that doesn't vanish,
yeah,
right? Take them thoughts of Jack. You ain't winning this trade no more, right? You then Doc Rivers and say in the playoffs, when they ask him if that's a point guard, if he say, I know.
yeah, I know.
Well, Embiid say we got dudes missing layups today. Take it, turn away layups. So it's no way. And for Ben Simmons, I think he's a little soft mentally. Right? I understand why he don't want to come back to Philly because at the end of the day,
Philly is
they
a
sorta-
mentally tough city.
yeah,
They
and they
can
sort of
beat
show
you.
you.
That's why he
They
can't
sorta
play
show
no
you
more because if he show up there game one talking what he gonna play, they can boo him out of that stadium. They can
They can
throw
boo him.
count. They can throw bottle at the air.
Yeah, but if he playing good, all I can go.
Bro,
Yeah,
you
He's not
can
gonna.
play-
He's not gonna
a-
put himself through that. He's not gonna put himself
a
through
good
that.
performance kills all that. Now, would he have a good performance kills all that? Ben coming average 30. Them Bulls could stop at game 3.
Average means consistent. You say a good performance. That's once.
But
That's
what I'm
not good
saying is, if he
performance.
comes and plays good, if Ben
Because
stop,
plays consistently good.
then go away.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen because he's.
No, I know it.
Yeah,
No, it
And
ain't
they,
gonna
and they know that's a fake because if he does come and play good, they know that you only playing good to raise your trade value, so you still could get over here. So at the end of the day, we ain't into
Yeah, some words are said that can't be taken back for real.
Yeah,
so
from
I was
there.
Ben.
I was
From both
throwing him in
sides.
the trash can. Me personally, I traded him to some place like Orlando. I traded you to some place I know. you're gonna
No,
struggle.
you can't do that because Orlando. If I'm Orlando, I'm not taking that trade because I know he's not going to play for me. So why would I take that
What you
trade?
mean he's not gonna play for you?
He's
I think he play
gonna.
for any. He
He
can play
have
for
to
any team
play.
other than Philly.
It's
I
one
think.
thing you say you sitting out for the team that you want. Now when someone trades you, you don't play again. Now all of a sudden your career comes in. Don't think. Wait, keep in mind now.
People,
Ben
no
Simmons
players.
is not.
The
Who's
players
done
have
this?
done this. Players have done this. Andre
No, no,
Iguodala
no.
just did it twice.
Oh no, players have done this, but not on a max contract. Under the look down at them wash. Like these guys are
No.
like guys who just could go on any team and get minimum contracts and $5 million contract. This
Right.
guy wants to play for superstar money. So that means you gotta stay at a superstar level. Because
When
now
he
if you get traded to Orlando and you say you don't want to play for them, and Orlando end up cutting you or sending you someplace
no
else,
one is signing you for a
who's
superstar, but at the
signing
same
you?
time, Orlando ain't re-signing you for a superstar because usually
Orlando ain't.
those lottery pick teams don't have max players. They
Wait, listen.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
No
but they
one is
might have
making
to
that
because
trade
you
unless
trading all
they
your draft picks
sure
away.
Ben Simmons won't play for them.
That's
That's
my
the point.
point. It
No one
doesn't
making that trade
benefit
unless
them.
they sure. Unless they
That
sure.
don't benefit
They,
Orlando.
they
But
gonna
where does he
call and
fit?
ask. They gonna call and ask. I think he fits on a lot of teams. I think he fits on a lot of teams without too
With
big.
that salary? What team he fits on with that salary?
But okay, he's not a superstar level player, but he's an all star level player. He's not John Wall. He can make an all star team. He can make an all defensive team. You know what I mean? So he's
Yeah,
not.
and that, his
And I
his
think
strength is defense for real.
yeah,
He,
and I
He
think
he,
gotta
the
be.
problem with and I think the problem with Philly is this. This is where Philly can face the most problems because Ben Simmons is overrated. Um, he's overrated by a large degree, but he's also really good for that Philly team. Like they had the best record in the East last year, right? So losing him, they will suffer as a result of that, right? So if you hold on to him, it's almost like you holding on to a dead weight on your contract while your team suffers, while your team may end up as the fifth seed in the East or sixth seed. It's not good, that's okay, but you was just a championship contender a year ago. So it could come a point in time where they got to make a decision like, do we really want to win this trade or we just want to get anything for this dude?
and
You know what
and
I
I
mean?
think that goes down. Like you have to think about it from a different perspective that I don't think Dara Morty is thinking about it. Embiid has a window, bro. He's top two center in the league right now. Top one depends on who you asking. He have a window, so you can't just be holding on to Ben Simmons for. You need to start over. You need to hurry up, find, get rid of that, have a losing season, find your player, and get back to a championship contender because you don't have 10 years.
Exactly.
Embiid, and
That's why I pulled the Russell trade. I would
I'd do
pull
the
the
Russell
Russell
trade.
trade.
I'd
I
do the
would
Russell
too.
trade
Now the
tomorrow.
only
Not to
thing
say
is Ben Simmons will destroy the Timberwolves.
You think
Keep that
so?
in mind.
no, I don't think so. I think he'd
What?
fit on Timberwolves. I think he'd fit
The
on
reason
Timberwolves.
why he would destroy the Timberwolves is don't forget now. If Embiid have a window, what Carl Anthony Towns up? He have
Colin
a
Towns,
keyhole. Eh?
Colin
Yeah,
Towns
but
style is different from Embiid.
and then too, Town team. I don't consider him a top center in the league.
No more.
No, yeah, no more.
Top two
Exactly.
quarter.
So his window
Top two
already
quarter.
almost about closed.
Right.
So you bring in Ben Simmons there, who couldn't deal with a guy who's at his prime. Now you're dealing with a yeah, and don't forget, Jimmy already exposed these guys. Jimmy already telling you these fellas he ain't got the work ethic, and now you bring in a
Right.
fella who
Who
has the
definitely don't have the
work
work ethic. Yeah.
Exactly. So
But-
this team
but-
Carl probably ain't got it either though.
But-
Jimmy exposed all two of these.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying because so now
Yeah.
you got Towns and then you got Ben who just
exactly.
exact
No, but
same
I-
personality as
Two
Towns.
lousy niggas coming in there.
I think Carl Towns and Ben Simmons game fit stylistically a little bit better than Embiid. Embiid is a guy who really likes to play out the post. He really likes to play in the paint. Like he really likes to, like he shoots sometimes, but he's a reluctant shooter. Carl Towns, you watch his nigga games, I think he's Reggie Miller, and he can shoot. He can really shoot. Like that dude can really shoot. Like he's taking a lot of threes. So I think Ben Simmons' game, which is transition, find guys open. I think that fits better with a Carl Towns. It fits better with an Anthony Edwards. And on the flip side, with DeAndre Russell, I think his game fits better with a Jordan Embiid because now you have a perimeter scorer and you got a paint scorer, and it's a better balance. Now the one thing with Philly would lose is the defense that Ben Simmons brings. And
Right.
like I say, you can't win the trade So you just need to be okay with getting something that could still help you. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I feel as if that's probably the best trade. Another trade where people was mentioning was CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons. I feel like that's a decent trade as well, right? CJ McCollum they probably on the same level. Him and Ben Simmons, they probably
But you think CJ could work
CJ
with
McCollum?
you? I mean, sorry, you think Ben could work with Dame?
yes.
Exactly.
I
That
think
don't
I
make
think Ben could work
sense.
with Ben.
I think all of these trades,
Not at guard.
but I think
Ben
all
have
of
to
these
change his
trades,
position. He can't play the
right?
point guard.
One, I don't even know why he.
He can't
I
play
feel
the
like
point
the only
guard.
reason he's regarded as a high defender is because he's 7 feet tall playing point guard. So
Okay.
you get my point. So it's like I feel like that's why he's seen as a great defender anyway. But
Hold on
the
now.
thing,
You know how hard it is to be bigger and slower than everybody, but still keep them in front of you. I feel like that. I feel that what makes him better because you're so big. Guarding guys like Steph them and Kyrie them who really are
right?
faster and quicker than you. So
Can
to be a
can
6'10" fella to keep up with these fellas is pretty amazing.
can Ben guard?
He can play point guard on defense, not on offense.
Right, but here's the thing: can Ben? Yeah, he can play point guard on offense. It's a very good passer. That's the thing. He
Yeah,
just
he's a
can't
good
Very
passer.
good
score.
He
passer,
just
but
you know
he's a good,
scorer.
he's a great passer.
That's
right?
why people
But-
is thinking about him going to Golden State. I would trade Ben
Yeah.
Simmons for Draymond.
No,
I do
you would not.
But no,
make the-
you know why?
You would not
Because-
make the playoffs.
What you crazy?
Okay.
Ben Simmons in that position with Draymond. Don't forget now,
No.
Ben Simmons is 6'10". You don't have to play Ben Simmons at point guard. You play Ben Simmons in the role that you play
As
Draymond.
Draymond,
Don't you
that's
see
what I
Draymond
assumed.
bring up the ball sometimes?
That's what I assumed.
Don't you
That's
see
not.
Draymond make passes?
That's
Don't
not
you see
my
Draymond
opposition.
play defense? So what
That's
does
not
Ben
my
Simmons do?
opposition. My opposition is the intangibles that Draymond bring that Ben Simmons does not have. We just talked about
What,
worth ethic.
crying and running to the refs and pitching
We
all
just
the
talked.
time?
Draymond is the captain of that team. Can Ben be the captain of that team? Can Ben hold people accountable on defense? No, he cannot.
Why is Draymond the captain of the team?
Because he has the intensity and he has the defensive know-it-all to get people in their positions. And offensively, Draymond
Right,
tells somewhere to go. Draymond
honestly,
directs traffic.
You realize
Honestly,
that these
listen.
are players. He just telling you, run the play that we know. Don't make it seem like Draymond out there drawing up the plays and saying, hey,
No,
you
Draymond
need to go over there.
Draymond is a coach on the floor. Ben is not. Ben is
But
not a floor general.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
Ben is infinitely more talented than Draymond. Right? That ain't even a question. So I think Draymond does provide some skills, some intangibles. But I mean,
Intangibles, not skill.
if you just look at the role that they play, and I would take Draymond as a slightly better defender over Ben, but if you just look at the role they play, like
Post defender, not perimeter defender.
post defender, okay, yeah.
Overall
Basketball.
defender. Overall defender.
I mean, we don't
But
see
let's look at the role they play on
Ben
offense.
in the post.
There you go. But you
Moving
see
the ball.
Draymond everywhere.
No.
Moving the ball, finding the shooters. Does Draymond do that better than Ben? No, Ben does that at a much higher level.
Ben is
Now, where they would suffer is
Rebounding?
Draymond,
Who wins rebounding?
rebounding, Ben is a better rebounder.
Who wins scoring? So
Scoring, Ben
if
is
Ben
better.
beating him in
time out.
scoring,
Is Ben a
rebounding,
better? Is Ben a better rebounder because he's guarding guards? Because Ben isn't in the paint guarding forwards and centers like Draymond is. Draymond rebounding against centers. Ben rebounding against 6'1", 6'2", 6'3".
The one advantage I would say Draymond have is his ability to guard the post. And
which
Draymond
we
is
haven't
sort of-
seen from Ben.
Yeah, Draymond is sort of like a glue
So that don't mean he can't do it. We
on
just haven't
defense.
seen it.
He's really a glue, right? He can plug a lot of positions. He can plug a lot of holes on defense that put Ben may or may not can, right? And then obviously it's like the desire. But for me, with Ben, like I say, I feel as if they stop using him as a point guard, if they take that pressure off him to say, "Wait, you're in a point guard, right? You may be
power
a good
forward.
power forward. You know what I mean? Are you
That
a
team
good
would be so sick, right?
solid role player?"
But you know, Philly tried that. Doc tried that like this season.
With the
That
shooting
Ben
that
Ben was
Playing
playing
point guard.
post. Ben was
Point
playing
guard.
post.
Who's the point guard in that situation?
Seth.
Take notes.
Seth was starting with I can't remember who was starting with Ben. It was Embiid, it was Ben, it was
Harris.
Tobias. it was Seth, and it was someone else. My point is Ben was more in the paint this year.
Like Donnie Green or something.
Probably,
like-
probably Donnie Green. Ben was in the paint this year.
Yeah, but in that situation, Ben still have to handle the ball. Because who handling the ball? You ain't letting Donnie Green
Yeah,
handle it.
ooh, handle your ball.
Yeah, you ain't letting.
Seth could handle the ball. You don't handle means bring up. You bring it up and you give it to Ben in the post.
You want Seth Curry handling the ball?
Derek Fisher can do that.
All you
All you
want
do is bringing the ball up and kicking it in the post to Ben. I mean, but then okay,
The reason
But
why
here's the
that didn't work
difference.
is because you have a dominant center.
right. That's what I'm
Golden
saying.
State
Here's the
doesn't
difference.
have a dominant
You
center.
have a post player on Philly. You don't really have a post player on Golden State.
there
So
you
now
go.
you got 5 out. Or 4 out. 1 in
That
Ben.
look, that look, boy.
And you let
But-
Ben
that look
do
good.
one in. Right?
But you know,
Because
Ben-
now,
Ben has-
that's how he just needs to put a team where he is the one in.
The
But
only
for the-
difference they would have is they wouldn't have that Draymond 1 3-pointer a game that he is hit wide open when fellas see him catch the ball. Fellas just turn around and say, let him shoot.
Very
And he's actually hit
disrespectful.
one.
Some
So that's the
disrespect.
only difference that Ben can
Some-
give you.
Some
Is that one.
disrespect. Come
How
on.
much 3-pointers he's hit a game?
No, but don't use the only
And fellas do
difference.
say, let him shoot.
The phrase, the only difference is what's offending me here.
The
Don't
biggest
you
difference-
Yeah,
disrespect
that would
me.
be the biggest fall off.
The
That would
biggest
be the
difference
biggest
is him
fall off.
whether or not he could defend in the post and be that blue that Draymond is. That's the biggest.
Listen, it's not Draymond's strength. Draymond's biggest strength is not one-on-one defense. Draymond's biggest strength is his defensive
team defense.
intensity. Right, is his ability to make the
defense.
team defense better.
Yeah.
Ben don't have that. But that's rare in the league. That's Draymond. That's Marcus Smart.
and getting them in
That's
foul trouble.
Tony Allen. People like Kawhi don't even have that.
Yeah.
And he's
it's-
one of the
it's
better
team
defenders in the
defense.
league.
It's team defense.
Kawhi can lock up everybody, but he don't make his team better defensively. Like Rudy.
Kawhi could lock up anybody.
But he
Kawhi
don't-
just doesn't scream and carry on.
And hold his teammates
Patrick
to a
Beverly
defensive
does,
assignment.
but Patrick
Right.
Beverly gets his torch every game.
Right.
The thing
Patrick Beverly. See, Patrick Beverly is a way lesser version of Draymond. Like Patrick Beverly is a generic Draymond. Mostly because he can't hold his own player to be allowing other people to hold their player. It's kind of different. Like, bro,
But keep in
James
mind,
Harden almost
Patrick-
break your kneecap.
Patrick Beverly goes up against a top player every night because there are so much guards. Who are the top 5-point power forwards in the league that Draymond go up against? That's so dominant. Besides Anthony Davis, who is head and shoulders above everybody else, who is
I
really a
don't-
center but don't want to play center. But think about
I'll
it.
be real.
It's
Dre don't-
easier
Dre-
to play with
When Dre play
power
Anthony
forwards.
Davis, he's locked that up.
He
Like,
do
we-
in the post.
But
Anthony
Dre
Davis
don't-
just get
Locking
off
that up,
it.
Yeah, but you guys up on
He do be locking it up.
But Dre don't just play power forward stuff.
These guys.
He's got anybody you assign this man to. He's not running behind guards all game. No, but you
got
got
a
to
guy LeBron.
you got
They
to
ain't gonna start him off against LeBron, and they ain't gonna start him off against Kawhi. But
Yeah.
because they don't want to get in foul trouble.
Yeah.
But who's got
Like I
the star
say,
player?
he's
Kawhi does.
Who's got the star player on Golden State? Playing there. Who's got the star player all year?
Well, that's why he say they told so much cut it. Now Draymond said it himself. Everybody's go off on Golden State now.
No, listen. You don't even when I watched Draymond Curso play for a defensive assignment he missed and Steph, I was like, bro, you know who he is, like, but that's just him. Like, he is the leader of that team. Like, yeah, Steph is the best player, but Draymond,
Since you such think that you was that guy, now you could go to Philadelphia. Let me see if you was that guy. Let me see you see Curso them
Well, he
beat
wouldn't.
and get your throat punch. Let me see if you go and run on with Doc Rivers. See how long you will be there. Like
honestly though, if you put Draymond on a team like that, he would make them a championship team. I've been saying
the
this.
Sixers a championship team.
Watch
Lay
this.
your pencil.
If
Take
you
out
put
your pencil again.
but it ain't gonna happen to it. Don't.
Take out
you
this
put-
pencil again.
If you put if you put Draymond on a team like my
As is.
like my 015 Clippers
15
with Chris Lob City. Yes.
No, that
What Lob City was missing? Lob City was missing someone like Draymond to hold them accountable. If you put him on a team,
they wouldn't be
Where does he
Lob City
play?
anymore.
if you put them, you know what I'm saying? If you put them on a team like
Where does he play though?
Yeah,
where does he play? When he play on Lob City,
Yeah, where does he play?
Drake could play 3 or 4. Blake could play 3. Drake could play the 4.
He ain't playing the 3.
He can't play the three.
Oh, but Blake
can't hit a
can't.
three. You can't even play
Tell me Blake Griffin can't play a 3.
Let him shoot.
Huh?
Tell me Blake Griffin can't hit a 3. Blake Griffin cannot play the 3.
6'10", 250. I wouldn't put Blake Griffin at the three without a
Well,
jump shot. This was
You
Blake
don't play
Griffin
enough
before the jump shot. Now. The jump shot came in Detroit. The jump shot came in Detroit.
No, sir.
The jump shot.
Blake had a jumper. No, sir.
He didn't have that. No. Hold on, not great. He didn't have that
Not in
automatic
2015.
jumper. He didn't have that automatic jumper.
He wasn't hitting a 3 at a 40% clip, but Blake had a jumper
But
on
he
the
wasn't taking
Clippers.
it. He wasn't taking it. See, the thing is, you have to take the 3s too.
Blake was taking. What do y'all listen to me? Blake was taking. I watched every Clipper game, especially against the Warriors when they was cheating, and
We beat you later.
and Blake was hitting jumpers, bro. Blake had a jumper.
I agree
Because-
with you. I
And I-
agree with the sentiment that he would make certain teams a championship team, but at this point in his career, I think it's like, okay, you have to ask where does he play, right? Like he's one of those players who's a really, really good role player. So like if he goes to like maybe the Clippers currently, right? Maybe you could say he's the missing piece for the current Clippers, right?
Mhm.
Because he can act as a facilitator on that team, and he don't have to score, right? So maybe he's a missing piece for the current Clippers, right? But certain teams you put him on, it's like, okay, where does he really play, and does
And
he
it's
hurt
not
the
just-
team on offense?
It's not just on the court. You know. Keep in mind, Draymond can't do that crap with everybody, bro. Don't forget the whole Durant thing, you know. This guy, like you say, he running on with Clay and Steph. You run these two little light-skinned fellas. You could go on that team and run on with Clay and Steph, and they just, I get on you shouldn't cry in her shoulder. Okay, cool. You run that crap with Durant. As soft as Durant is, Durant say better.
I was
like
about to
that.
say it's
Now,
kind of
if
different
you go
because
to another
Durant.
team and you go with another superstar, say like you say you go to Philly, you think you're being like, man, wait, listen, you run on here,
But-
you missed this defensive.
But it's more. I think it's more so about Durant being soft than it is about Dre being uncontrollable.
Yeah,
Durant is a soft player. Well, his personality, not player. Personality, Durant is very, very soft.
Yeah,
He probably
Steph
left
and Clay-
because-
Steph and Clay too.
Soft like Durant.
I mean, y'all only say it because Durant actually opens up to the media. Steph and Clay really don't come to the media. Aisha's be more in the media than Steph. But probably if you see these two probably go on the media, you realize that they ain't into nothing neither.
The
said
fact
Durant.
that they don't go to the media means they ain't as soft as Durant.
Yeah, I say
Durant,
Durant.
had a burner account. You realize that, right?
Yeah, but that don't make him soft.
You
I
know,
say Durant more mentally soft because he took that situation and he says, "I can leave," right?
Yeah,
And
but he leaves
Draymond,
to
like I
prove
said,
a point. Not
No.
leave because Draymond ran me out of town.
he said that-
Draymond.
he said part of-
If
he said part of
Durant
playing
did sit there and Durant say, "Listen, I want to stay with this team for the next 5 years, but y'all got to get rid of Draymond." You think Steve Kerr and the owner of the Golden State Warriors would have said, I mean, he is the captain of our team.
No.
He is our Sarton's
That
whole.
that don't make no sense.
And that's exactly my point, because that's what Draymond said in the interview. When they asked him about it, and they said, because remember I said Durant said that was part of the reason he left, and Draymond said that's
Yeah.
a cop-out, because if he went to the general manager and said trade me or Draymond, they would have traded me, and I would have understood that,
Yeah.
right? But Durant getting a row with Draymond, and he going inside, well, he leaving. That's why he leaving these niggas. And he ain't tell them nothing. He just sit there the whole season and act like everything was cool.
Yeah,
That's all people do.
it is,
You know,
bro.
when they approach with confrontation, they go on a little shell and they
Yeah,
run
but
from
that-
it.
because like he say, is no way of dealing with it. My thing is, you go there and punch Draymond in the mouth. Then what? Or you still soft
You
because
gotta punch
you
nigga in the mouth.
emotional.
All you guys will
You
say,
go
but
on and
listen.
run on. My thing is, but
Exactly.
Tell me.
I look at it in a way as, okay, if I come to this team, first of all, I come to this team, you ain't even the star, but I is obviously one of the best players in the world. Number one, I ain't even running on with you. The fact that everybody else let you run on with me, knowing that I is the best player on this team, like I think he leaving because
So we
I guess
posted
you
the-
saw
usually-
Draymond this and that. I leaving because I want to show y'all that I better than you, and like Draymond admitted, ever since you left, I've been told get my ass kicked every game.
Yeah, of course, because he's the best player in the league. I mean, you.
So
So-
I'm leaving to prove
so-
a point. I ain't gonna stay there and let no joker talk to me any kind of way. You was trash, bro.
That's
Why
what
So-
you
I'm
in there
saying
for,
right there.
joker?
So you could have said, listen, I want this boy gone.
Yeah,
Right,
but that's
but
up to
don't
that's
say-
up to the higher people.
But
Not
don't
because I'm
say,
the best player means they want me more than him.
no, but you could say that and they would say, okay, we'll trade him. But don't,
Yeah,
don't
hold on,
make
don't-
it seem as if, don't make it seem as if, oh, part of the reason I left was because Draymond, me and Draymond had a row. That's the part of the reason why I left. Don't make it seem that way.
He said that's
Right?
what it was.
Yeah, so don't, but I saying don't make it seem that way when, hey, guess what? You didn't leave because you just left because you wanted to leave. Because if you wanted to stay, you would have just tell them trade me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you just say you wanted to leave because you wanted to leave.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons. But don't forget
And
the other
listen,
reasons was too
It's
the
the
legacy
second
part.
time
of it.
that I must add this. This is the second time Durant did this.
Yeah, because it's a
When
legacy
he was
part
faced a
of it.
confrontation with Russell Westbrook,
I was about to say. I was just
he
about to
left
say
him
that's.
too.
He was calling
This is
himself
what
before he
Paul
even got
niggas
to
do.
Golden State.
But don't
He was
forget,
calling
niggas
himself
do.
before he even got to Golden State.
y'all
Paul
call him
niggas
soft,
is
but
leave
he's
when they
leaving to
take it
prove
even-
a point, bro.
He leave him because
Because
he's taking
Westbrook
chafing.
think you was number one. At the end of the day, I's number one. What I stand to run on with you for? At a
Get
certain
rid of
age?
him. You could get
How
rid
he
of
leaving
whoever
to
you
prove a
want.
point
Use the
if-
best player.
Hey, how you even to prove a point if when Westbrook asked him to dinner before his free agency, hey, what could I do to make you stay? Is there anything I can
No,
do to
man,
make
don't
you
ask
stay?
you. No, yeah, pass the ball.
And
That's what you can do. Pass the ball.
Everything cool.
Yeah, it ain't cool.
Never
You
Ronnie
hold
even
the
tell me
ball up
he
all
leaving.
season. And now you are like, man.
Nigga, he leaving. He said, everything cool, bro. Everything cool.
Yes,
It's just
because
like
at the end of the day, let me show you something. At the end of the day,
nigga.
I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, my thing is actions speak louder than words. I ain't got time to sit down with you and talk and tell you. I don't have no obligation. Like Durant said, I don't have no obligation to tell you what I want to do. You know, I's a man, you's a man. If I say I want to leave, I can make that choice and not tell you. You ain't my boss. You don't pay my checks. You's my teammate. At the end of the day, you hog the ball all season. You take all type of bad stink shots. You do all these up 3-1 on Golden State, and then you decide to be the superstar and you want to close the game. So I
Time
never
out.
got the games closed though.
Do not
I got a
put the
question for you.
entire blame
I never
on
said the entire.
Westbrook.
I'm a
Did I say
You
the
make
entire?
it.
Hey,
That's how you make it seem. You make it seem like because Westbrook did what he did, they lost. Durant have a blame on that too. Durant wasn't even calling for the ball.
yeah, what's this though?
Also, I must call.
I got this question. What's this though?
I got a call for the ball.
How much time do you think Westbrook? How much time do you think Durant confront Westbrook or whatever?
How much he what?
0.
0 times. How much time do you think Durant confront Westbrook over his
0.
again of the
Man,
ball?
but think about it,
Go
man.
pass
These
the
play
ball, bro.
ball, man. These
Go
play
pass the
ball.
ball, bro.
If I
Pass
is
the ball,
far and above the best player on this court, you take. Wait, me personally, that's how I go. Y'all
You ain't
can say
far
whatever
above.
y'all want. I can look at it. I come on this court.
You
I
ain't
play
fine
a bunch
above.
of scrubs.
Westbrook is MVP player. You're not.
And
fine
I come
above.
on there.
You
No.
are. You ain't fine
I
above.
better. But my thing is, you see me out here. I'm obviously fine above the best shooter on this team.
Yeah.
Because Durant and
Best
Westbrook
shooter.
shooting ain't nowhere
Fine above
close.
the best
Best
scorer.
But yet, you taking more 3-pointers than me.
But you're not fine above.
I have
the
to
MVP
call
player.
for the ball, bro.
So what you're telling me is-
an MVP level player, right?
So what you're telling me is, as a man, you wouldn't say those exact same words you said to us just now on the court.
Athlete.
Are you shooting a volleyball? You wouldn't pull me inside and say, bro, are you fine above the best player on this team, and you shooting more threes than me? You wouldn't,
I
as
sure
a
that-
man.
Now don't think
I
that
leave him,
I
bro.
sure
I
the
don't
random
want
them had some conversation, but you could see Westbrook
I
have a fucking problem, bro. Like Westbrook is them guys you could sit down all day. Listen, bro, your shot is off. Tonight is not the night to shoot. You're going against a defensive team, and Westbrook will still come with you and shoot 20 shots.
I could bet you they ain't had no conversation. You know why? Because Westbrook was dumbfounded when Durant leave. So I could bet you they ain't had no conversation with him.
Okay,
If they had a conversation,
you know what the
Westbrook
proof
wouldn't
is
have been
this year?
surprised.
I'm glad Westbrook come to my team, even though he can he can do some crap. He can prove this year. Watch Westbrook.
No, guess what?
But watch what you can
Well, Westbrook.
You can hear LeBron say something there.
No.
Yeah,
It don't be LeBron. It don't be LeBron.
hey,
It's be
hey,
LeBron
Sans.
fans.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Sans,
be LeBron fans.
even if you don't hear LeBron to them to him, one of the two things can happen. LeBron gonna approach him and talk to him, and he gonna act accordingly, or by All-Star game, he won't be the point guard for the Lakers.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Shoot
You
guy?
better believe
He ain't gonna be
LeBron
there.
will address it one way or another. LeBron will say, wait, that's that. I ain't gonna tell no one nothing, and I just can leave.
What's
That's what I can do.
equivalent?
So
What's
hold on.
equivalent?
What happened to Schroeder then?
What
Yeah,
you
let me
do
hear this
after Schroeder?
crap. What happened to Schroeder?
In terms
Schroeder
of
was
what?
there all last season trying to prove himself for this contract. Even Anthony Davis say, man, listen, I in the paint wide open, Schroeder ain't want to give me the ball. He want jack up off that retreat. Why LeBron ain't sit down and talk to Schroeder and tell him he's up? Because Schroeder was shooting the ball, tell the clock, stop.
No, but he needed Schroeder as a scorer. He needed Schroeder to score.
Oh, so he don't need Westbrook as a scorer? So Westbrook shoot up on the ball, but you think if Westbrook dropping 25, 30 points, he can say, Westbrook, I need you to shoot
at the end of the season, evaluation comes. Now, I ain't saying LeBron is score about it the right way. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying LeBron is LeBron is a shiesty nigga. He's shady, right?
Nah, I agree with that. Nah, I call that being soft. Because LeBron would let you do whatever you want and tell you, oh, but yeah, it ain't cool, you know. We understand your game plan, and then you'll wake up the next morning in Sacramento.
I don't believe he tells people everything cool. I don't believe he tells people everything cool.
Yeah,
because
no,
I watched the Lakers when they had Lonzo and Brandon Ingram, and if you listen to them talk, all of them know they was gonna get traded. Throughout the season, all of them knew, like, wait, we can get traded at some point. Like, they say LeBron still was cool with us, but we know we used to get traded because LeBron never used to hide how he felt in press conferences. LeBron's press conference say, of course I'd love to play with Anthony Davis. Of course I'd love to play with this one. He never used to really hide how he feels.
And
right?
common sense could tell you to get Anthony Davis, someone could be
you gotta trade one of them. So
now,
all I don't do is get him traded.
Now I don't get why KD has no kind of that he don't have no. I don't want to take balls, but he don't have no. Like his chest so small to the point where this his team. He was drafted there. He was the first one. Him and Jeff Green was the only two when they was in what it was Seattle.
Which one do you think?
And then they switch over to OKC. This is your team, bro. And you leave Westbrook.
You could have man when you're at OKC.
No, but if you was on this team, right? Say you was playing with LeBron, and LeBron saying, "Yeah, I won't play another man." You think that makes sense as your captain or your leader on your team telling you basically to your face you was trash, but he coming in the locker room being the perfect teammate. That's why Paul Pierce has run out on niggas. Because they always make it seem like, oh, this fella, oh, he's such a this and he's such a that and he does it the right way. And then you go up in a press conference and say, oh, well, I would love to play with Anthony Davis. How else you can get him here? Like, come in the locker room and tell me, well, you and you all might as well start putting your house up for sale.
That's what you rather.
But I mean, that's what y'all saying. I rather the right way. No. If I was the right, I'd be the way that, hey, my contract up. Y'all see me resign this contract extension, right? Don't make it seem like Durant got traded or he demanded a trade.
There's no way. There's no way.
My thing is, you see my contract up, and you see me resign, and the end of the season you come sit me down and talk what can I do to keep you stay?
There's no way you saying Durant's method is more gutsy and money than LeBron's method. That doesn't make no sense.
You mean LeBron what the press conference tell people he's leaving Cleveland?
That press conference is a fundraiser for the kids club.
Who knew that LeBron was leaving?
Listen.
If he told them, then they wouldn't have the press conference. That would have leaked. That was to raise funds.
Don't make it seem like he went and tell Cleveland he was leaving.
No, that was
he did a coward way too.
That was to raise. No, it wasn't a coward way. No, it was the first. It was the first time that ever happened. That's what it was. That's why I think
he's soft. But when LeBron told all this cut up for years in the East, like Garnett say, I punch your head off every year. Now all of a sudden you have the urge to go to South.
Now you know Garnett's ridiculous because Garnett was getting abused by LeBron one versus him and two other all-stars. Garnett just talking, you know that. Let's not even go down that road.
Listen, no. That's what makes Kevin Durant lame, in my opinion. It's not the fact that he left, right? You can leave whoever team you want to leave, right? What makes him lame is he's leave these teams, and then he's going Twitter, subtweeting the dudes. Oh, Westbrook is trash. He shoot up all the ball. Oh, I had to carry Golden State.
Like I'm into that social media.
That's so Austin's way. When you was there, it was all hugs. Everything was cool. As soon as you leave them. Oh, this coach didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, but see, like what you want to do, because at the end of the day, you go to people like Jordan. You all say, okay, this fella soft because he ain't gonna say nothing to your face, but he can go on social media and rant. Then you got fellas like Jordan who come into practice and punching in your eye. Well, he too aggressive. I don't want a teammate like that. When we watched the last time, certain fellas like Cartwright them was saying, "Boy, I ain't gonna lie, Jordan really used to carry fellas hard. Steve Kerr get a black eye. Phil, he cursing out everybody. Like, Which one you want?
They-
You want the run? That's what y'all want. Y'all want the run
No,
to wild
that-
out in practice.
That's
and
called,
rest per
you know,
game.
that's a fallacy. That's called false dilemma. Those are not the only two options.
Yeah.
You don't have to be both extremes. You could be in the middle. You could
I
be
don't wanna be in the middle.
a decent human being. You don't have
No,
to
no,
be
no,
extreme one, but you're
But
extreme
watch
the
this.
next.
Even with Jordan and with Kobe.
I know
to
one
left
thing.
and
Jordan
center.
wins 6 rings. So I go to Jordan wing.
But
I ain't trying to be
Kobe
in the
left
middle.
center because Kobe used to carry on bad too.
I was about to say Kobe in that too.
Kobe almost killed Sasa for
Yeah.
Richardson on practice.
But these dudes, if you go back to their teammates would say, "Boy, this Jordan and Kobe, they wanted us to win with them. That's why they used to carry us so hard. They wanted
Exactly.
us along for the ride."
But did the media say that at that time? People used to at the time. See, we looking at it in hindsight. You could look at it after they win and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, Jordan used to carry these fellas hard after they win," or Jordan used to Kobe used to carry these fellas hard to make them win. But during that time, oh, Kobe arrogant. He's a ball hog. He curses on his teammate. He's not a good teammate. Jordan is a dick. No one wants to come to Chicago. We need to get like at that time. People are saying, "Oh, Jordan is like." But now it's all of a sudden. Oh, well,
I feel like he was. I feel like he was. I still
He
with
was.
the people who were saying
But he
that.
needed to be
But
in order
they-
to be the great.
No,
But it's like
he's a-
I don't
he's a
think that was necessary. I think he could have been without that. Let's be real. Same with Kobe. Kobe could have been without going in the locker room and laughing at people and saying, "But y'all about to get traded. I can't wait. Looking at this watch." He could have win. He could have win without doing that.
Don't
He didn't
forget,
have to
these
do
guys
that.
are not
He
doing
could
that
be
for
an
them,
asshole.
you know. When you see, and I told someone this last week, people see. Anyway, we on social media, but whatever. Bullying, they make it seem like, oh, bullying is always a negative thing. No, bullying is not always a negative thing. No. You could bully people to be better. You could bully people into the right situation. Sometimes you have to bully people. Like technically that's what discipline is. You know what
Right,
discipline
so
is. I bully you into doing the right thing because you did something wrong.
So you think what Kobe was doing when he was trolling the players who was about to be traded is bullying?
Man, them niggas is trash, man. Who I told him? Quentin and so wait. Listen, all of y'all get your bags together.
It was a losing team, but he said it's not.
Don't
This
even
is
come on the
loser.
bus. Don't
This
come
is
on my
loser,
bus.
Jerry B. Lynn.
Call a cab and y'all find y'all.
Right, and that's why one of my favorite stories with Kobe is when he was one of his final years. I don't know if it's his final year with when Nick Young was there. Swaggy P was there, and he was trying to bully them in practice and talk to them dead bad. And Swaggy was going right at him. Swaggy would say, "Yeah, you may be great, you may be Kobe, but you want to come here and clown me." And obviously Kobe was killing them. But the point is, like, I'm about to sit here and hang my hair like.
Question: can I not clown you if I killing you?
Yeah, but no, I ain't saying something was wrong with what Kobe used to want. I'm just saying someone stood up to him and was like, "Yeah, you could say what you want, but I'm about to just sit down here and take it. Like I coming at your neck too."
And then
So
I still kill you.
that's irrelevant. That
That make it even worse. My thing is, if I clown you and then I say, "Man, this boy ain't into nothing," and you
No,
just
that
go
ain't gonna
about
make it
your
worse.
business, it'd be like, okay. But if I clown you and then you say, "But who you talking to? But you think I trashy?" And then
and
come on
you
the
play
court and
no.
I still kill you.
The level of play got better. Maybe Kobe won, but the level of play got better to the point where it wasn't a blowout like how
You realize Kobe.
Jimmy did.
Exactly.
The Timberwolves. Kobe wasn't doing that to them.
But remember at that time, people were saying when Jimmy did all that, and the media came out that when Jimmy had this big blow up at practice, people are saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is the problem here. Jimmy Butler's this. Jimmy Butler's that."
I didn't know that.
Okay.
What?
When I heard that story,
They were
For
saying
me-
that Jimmy Butler went and ranted and then he cursed out all the company Anthony
me personally,
Towns.
when I heard that
He
story,
cu-
I was like,
He cursed out everybody
Yeah,
and he gone and get the
there's
third string fellas
And beat everybody.
Yeah.
Towns. And what
And-
happened? Who did they
and
let
get-
go?
And guess what? He did it. Jimmy wanted to go. And guess what? They didn't even, from that story, Jimmy didn't even take a shot.
My point exactly.
So that just mean that he
ever
was.
since that day,
mentally.
Minnesota still been in the trash can. And since
Yeah.
that day, Jimmy Butler has carried Miami
In the
to the finals and got a supermax and now has a playoff contending team. So who was really right in that situation?
Yeah,
Even
but
though at that point in time, Jimmy was the bad guy.
Okay, but that
To me, he
you
was
keep saying Jimmy was a bad guy. I never saw him
He
as a
was
bad
a-
guy.
I like-
The
when I heard
first,
that
the only thing
story-
in my head was, what the hell wrong with Carl Towns? Like how
Yeah.
could you let someone punk you like that? That's what I was saying, but I wasn't saying he was a bad guy. But I'm maybe because I'm in sports and I understand players like that because
We understand
Sans,
the competitive nature. So
we play with a player like that, and Garvin was similar to that.
Yeah.
How
Hold
he
on
used
now,
to
hold on
carry
now.
on.
You all
He
ain't
was,
can talk
bro.
with my
he-
boy.
No,
G
G,
never talk to me.
G is
like
our
that
boy
way. I
too.
love playing with G.
G is
'Cause
our
G
boy.
funny.
That's a good thing. That's a
G
good thing.
funny as
You
hell.
would never saw G in practice, bro.
I did. And the thing is, G never talked to me like that, right? Because my thing is, I ain't gonna overplay my role. If I, like I say, me personally, I understand that G was better than me. So if I have an open shot, I can take it. But when I see G come down the court and I know G got low fence and G got cupcake, I can say, boy, come for this ball, big brother, because I want to see the show too. The problem is when you get other fellas on the team won't be dribble guards and y'all be setting up plays and running on scrap and G
the thing
say,
is that
listen, let me let you all know.
it was defense intensity. It was that
Yeah, I
effort.
don't mind
It
that
was,
though. I don't mind that.
I ain't come here to play no G.
Me and G went at it a couple of times, and
Right, G, you
I don't
see
really
that.
mind it, bro. I don't really mind it because at the end of the day, it's like that's what ball is about.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't have
we need G on the
confrontation
board,
with your
guys.
teammates, then you know, if you don't have
Yeah.
confrontation with your teammates, then you ain't trying to get better. You ain't trying to compete. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So at the end of the day, I didn't feel no way about it. You know what I mean?
But I would always rather Jordan, Kobe, Jimmy, G. I would always rather that way. Once it's
Yeah,
productive. I
definitely
think Jordan
like
was
that.
a little extreme. I think Jordan was a little
I
extreme.
don't think so.
But let me just say,
But
Kobe,
okay.
Jimmy, I'd rather that way than
Yeah, I rather the Jordan
KD.
way.
I'd rather the other than KD and LeBron way. I'd rather a confrontation
Oh,
of.
I hate LeBron way.
Yeah.
I don't know, Anza, how you hate LeBron way, not KD way, but okay. I'd rather a
No, I don't
confrontation
say
of.
I never say I don't like what Katie did. I just say I understand it. Like it's different ways of reacting. Like either you could go at it, or you could just say by slide. No, like it's almost like avoid, like how people say walk away or turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Durant just that guy who can say y'all saying it's soft, but Durant just that guy of hey, I shouldn't have to run on with you. Like we all NBA players, we grown men around here. You
It's
say
soft
you
because-
start. I ain't running.
I say it's soft because you saying walk away. Yeah, if you walk away, that's fine. But you walking away, but still trying to throw little stuff back in the fire. That's why it's
Right.
soft. Like if you walk away from the situation, walk away.
Yeah, but
Guess what? I even get.
But say the antics is soft. Don't say what he did was soft. The walking away
No, I'm
part is
saying
not
he is soft.
soft.
As a person, he is soft. That's what soft people do.
The social
Soft
media
people do.
gangster part of it is soft. Yes.
Yeah, soft. That's he's soft. Soft people pretend like they okay, but deep down they ain't okay.
Yeah, deep down they
Yeah.
crying themselves to
They
sleep.
crying. So that's what even when we.
But you
saying,
can't even call that soft no more because they have all these.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but even with that we saying about Steph and Clay, and I could throw in Dame name into the fire, right? Dame don't get no mix up. Steph don't get no mix up, right? That to me is why it is Steph, Clay, Dame, Russ to me is the realest niggas in the NBA because they don't really get no mix up, and if they have a problem with you, at least with Russ, you know he'll say it, right?
Yeah, you know.
But you ain't gonna hear them niggas run on too much. So if they walk away from a situation, you ain't gonna never hear nothing about them bringing it back up.
Yeah.
You say that? Nothing.
Right. It's all about the game, especially Russ. Like Russ trash talks every single person to the point where it looked like they want to fight. And
Isn't
after the
it
game
a point in
over,
time where they said like Russ wasn't a good teammate.
who said that?
It was a point in time where people, especially when Durant left. When
Oh,
Durant
no,
left,
people always say that,
people was
but I
always saying Russ wasn't a good teammate. But to
I
be
just
honest
think
with you,
he's a
he
sucker.
just went a different route. Westbrook really was going the Kobe other people route. Like
Yeah.
so,
And I mean, you had players like I mean, almost all those players on OKC after Durant left would say Russ was the best teammate they ever had.
the
Stephen
teammates,
Adams,
yes, the
Stephen
teammates
Adams
would say
definitely
he's the
said
best
that.
player.
Yeah.
The
Stephen
way
Adams
he was
said
doing
that.
it made
Yes,
sense.
that-
But we talking
that-
about
that-
what the outside media
Yeah,
try to
people
portray
said
that,
that.
hey, when you be aggressive or you go about it that way, or you're not being a good teammate because you shouldn't be yelling at your teammates or you shouldn't be carrying on in practice. Now the teammates, like you say, because we play ball, we understand it as players and people who've been on teams. But most people will look at it as, oh, you arrogant, you're not making your teammates better, they're yelling at them. And I just be like, but the teammates ain't complaining. Like
Exactly.
the teammates ain't crying.
Like I say, if you in sports,
And who wants
y'all
to
don't get
leave
no-
left?
y'all don't get no arguments, then y'all ain't trying to win. Y'all ain't trying to do nothing. If y'all
Really?
don't get no arguments, you know what I mean? Then what y'all doing? Like everybody ain't gonna like everybody. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah, you don't get no dust up. The
you don't
intensity,
get no dust up at all. What you
intensity
doing?
in there. Yeah,
But
I
anyway,
always say that too.
we
I
gotta
mean,
wrap this up.
For someone who was talking with the Spurs, I never see them at no dust up to win championships. But
No,
everything
Paul
cool.
mentioned some all the dust up for that.
Popovich dusted up himself.
He,
I remember
he,
Vince slap. Bro, he hit one of his players one time. Who was that? That was Tony?
I think that's 28.
And he slapped Tony in the back of the head. Like, bro, that dude is like a
And then
military.
everything I hear about Duncan was he was a calm nigga, but he was a cold dude too. From what I hear.
You walked out that mentality, bro.
He used to treat people like they used to need him.
Right.
That
So,
might
see,
have rubbed people the wrong way.
so let me bring up a good point. When I say Jordan's leadership style was a bit extra, I would compare Jordan's leadership styles to Kevin.
Who Kevin?
I would. He would argue every game. He would get on you. He would tell you about your
Yeah,
Grammy. He would tell you about your Grammy and then expect you to play good. Like,
Yeah,
no,
but
bro, we ain't cool.
I would make that same type of comparison with Draymond.
Nah, I don't think so.
You only could do that when you're really good.
Exactly.
When you ain't
Draymond does that.
No,
and
you
it's not
can't
even
do
that
that.
good.
No,
You're
no,
not
you
even that guy, buddy.
You can't do that point blank. You can't do that point blank. No,
You're not
it's
that guy.
a certain line you cross. I think Kobe's level was more or less the standard of how you do it. Kobe, and winding down the Kobe later years, it was more caring, less cursing you out, but it was to push you. Jordan's own was more like to insult you or disrespect you. I don't see how I was pushing. Granted,
How?
Jordan
You know
just
what,
took it
man?
too far. Niggas wanted to fight Jordan.
But you still wanted to play with him.
There's certain lines you can cross. All of us know that.
Right.
We know as men, there's certain lines.
I mean, Steve Kerr still come to practice the next day.
Hey,
If that was
Hey, and hold on. But did you see Steve Kerr part of it? Steve Kerr said something he said after that because of that, it cost me to play at a different level all season because I was fired up.
Come on, man.
And I was like, so I had to punch you in your eye to fire you up.
This is
No, man. This ain't making no
you talking
sense.
about the documentary, right? Or what do you think Steve Kerr say in Jordan documentary? Oh, I hated Jordan. Oh, he was the worst player.
I mean,
Even if he did say it, they probably would have cut it out.
no, because what did Gary Payton say?
No, that's a enemy. That's an opponent. He wanted them to say that.
yeah,
Which one of Jordan's?
I was healthy. We is winning that series. If they'd put me on Jordan for the
Yeah.
first series,
Oh,
we is winning that.
who he's talking to?
Gary Payton
Who Gary Payton was talking to? Gary Payton is another guy who is very high energy and a super trash talker.
Yeah,
That's a
he's
super trash talker.
Yeah.
He probably is the
But
best.
real
NBA
talk,
player.
like even in his books, is like no one believes you, guy. Like no one believed that statement.
But people, there's just some people that just cross the line. Like the person I know, I could think of when I even say the word cross the line is Kevin Garnett. Like dude just crossed every line possible when it came to trash talking. I mean, he talk about people's wife. He called someone a cancer patient.
Lala was sweet though. I mean, she still is. I saw Lala on Instagram.
Slimmy, you had this dude.
Lala sweet boy. Who Slimmy is? But I ain't even mellow any. But yeah, they cool.
Hey,
that's
not the up. That is a fun part. It's
Honey
a
Nut
long
Cheerios, boy.
Mother said this is a long board. Our producer probably cursing us in the air right now.
Yeah, he probably sleeping or playing 2K right now.
He definitely playing 2K. Definitely losing to 2K.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody who came out and watched. We appreciate the support once again. We'll be back Saturday to hear the picks for next week. Shout out Rev Trio, our sponsors. Big shout out to them. We will remind you about the Sunday ticket package that Rev Trio is going on. Get the Sunday ticket package. Watch all the games. All NFL games on Sunday. All at once. You can watch them simultaneously or you can watch one at a time. Whatever is your choice. You know what I mean? And if you're a Rev Trio subscriber already, that's no additional cost to you. So it's a hell of a deal. Get it. If you're a serious football fan, get right on it. All right. So any last words before we push out, gents?
2.5 hours. I think we covered it all.
Jesus.
Yeah,
But we had a lot we still could have gone on with. But
let's save something next week.
Yeah, till next time. We can link y'all. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah, y'all be safe.
That's all. Kill us.